Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Tavern Does Call of Cthulhu. I'm Mac, and we're joined by the same great crew that we had last time. Let's go ahead and do a quick run around the table to make sure that everybody is that we know everybody who's playing, and we can get into some announcements and then get the game going. Let's just go. I don't know what we're actually looking at there, so I'll go with first up. We have Anna, just going clockwise around.
Hi, my name is Anna, and I normally play Turgeon Nighthawk on our Thursday night show, Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction. But today I am Caroline Billings, antique dealer and currently investigator.
Excellent.
Yes.
Dwight.
Hey everybody, I'm Dwight, the Big Bearded Nerd. You can find me over on Mini Train Domain. I also run the Big Bearded Nerd Twitch channel, part of the Mini Train Domain network of channels that we're trying to build. So I will be playing Thomas Gareth Wilson, and I'm excited to get into the insanity. So
we'll do our best to get you there. Michelle, who are you playing today?
Today I am playing Lana Evans, a World War I Russian vet. Forgive the accent. Normally you can find me on our Wednesday night show, The Belkin Weave, playing Dolaris.
All right, and then I got Corey coming around the circle here.
Hey, I'm Corey, also known as Mr. Smithwick on Twitter. I am playing Dr. Matthew Rose, psychologist and parapsychologist. And normally you see me with Michelle on the Belkin Weave Wednesday nights, where I play Eldon Goodfield.
All right, excellent. And last but not least, we have Jess.
Oh, hi guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I'm Jess, aka Freckle Sketches, on the Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find me typically every other Sunday on So Matty Games with a Z at the end. I usually play Zakria Rashi, a Fire Genasi Paladin, but today I am playing Dr. Jean Watson, neurosurgeon.
Excellent. All right, so now we're set there. I don't know if everybody out in the chat noticed this, but we had some pretty fun, spooky music playing, and we're going to have some cool ambiance coming throughout the show here. And that's all courtesy of Tabletop Audio, or tabletopaudio.com. We are sponsors. We're patrons of theirs on Patreon. Its links are all there on their own on their website there, but it's also free to use. So you can log in, use it on your own tabletop games, or however it is you want to set the mood for a spooky party, and go with it without ever having to actually pay. But we do recommend sign up for their Patreon, because that does help them out, because they make some really, really good stuff. Otherwise, I think we're ready to get rolling here. So where were we last time? Who wants to start running us through what happened there, just to try and get anybody up to speed who doesn't know what was happening?
Oh man, well, a archaeology professor who just come back from South America studying Incan ruins has recently gone insane, and his sister has hired us to figure out what the problem is with him, why he's gone insane, and if it can be fixed.
Yeah,
that's where it started.
Yeah, it was Professor Cromwell from the University of Westport. You guys are in Westport, Massachusetts, and he went a little nutty on the return trip from a archaeological dig in the not too far outside of Nazca, Peru. What? Anybody else remember what fun stuff happened there, or do you just want to get right into it? See you go. Surprise everybody.
We took a look around the professor's apartment, found that it had been ransacked and some stuff had been taken, and then made our way over to his office at the university. Got a hold of his journal and talked to his research assistant. Found out some more spooky stuff. Got the info dump on the trip to Peru from
and
his.
Found a spooky amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that got the better of a couple of you.
Right. And then that led us to the ship docks, where we removed the professor's luggage and cargo and whatnot.
Yeah, and while you guys were at the docks, something pretty exciting there happened. Anybody care to fill us in on what we were looking at there?
I can't. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Opened up a trunk, and there was a tablet in the trunk that did not agree with Miss Billings.
Yeah, Ah,
That's a polite way to put it. Yeah, and she then suffered a seizure for rolling absolutely spectacularly on her
Spectacularly in a bad
sanity
way.
roll.
Yes.
And that's pretty much where we've left off. You guys hired a local steerage company just to throw all the trunks in and ship them off to the university, and you helped them load up whoever wanted to, and they left about 5 minutes ago. You guys are now standing on the at the docks talking about your next move. So that is where we open, and I'm going to just go ahead and turn it over to you guys. Night has fallen. It's about 6 o'clock now in mid-October here. So, and it is Massachusetts, so it gets dark at like 2 p.m. I think. I don't know. All right. So what are you guys going to do? What's the dialogue here? It's all you.
Well, I think we should get out of the open, find some, maybe go back to the boarding house that was arranged and just go over what we've discovered.
I am eager to pore over some of these rubbings and inscriptions, see if there's any hint of what could have affected the good professor so much.
I'd like to get a better look at Carol, just to make sure she's all right. But otherwise, I think having a sit down, going over everything would be advised.
Yeah, we have had a pretty busy day, so perhaps it's time to rest and peruse what we learned.
In the morning.
All right.
For now, I'm not tired.
Oh, I'm a little shaken by.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Well, you can probably find some good food back in the northern part of town. The southern part down here with the docks and all that's it's a little rough and tumble unless you really want to eat clam chowder out of a boot or whatever it is they do in the rougher parts of Massachusetts.
Yeah, we
Clam
want to go back
chowder?
uptown before we find some food.
Get some
Chowder out of a boot? How
Can we get some chowder?
extravagant.
Let's get some chowder.
Yeah, you can find some chowder, no problems there. All right, so it sounds like we're heading back up to the main part of town. Right now, you're in the southern part of Westport, which is a real town in Massachusetts. It is sort of divided into two major sections. There's the port part, and then about 3 miles north of that is the actual sort of residential part where the people actually live and have or the fancier people live and enjoy themselves and all that great stuff. And in between there's a whole lot of nothing. It's 1923, so the roads themselves aren't particularly paved. So at night you're gonna have to go pretty slowly to make sure you don't destroy your very fine automobile. Is that where we want to go?
Yeah, I think
Sounds
so.
like a plan.
Let's
Okay.
go back on the north side too.
I mean, I don't care what's good as long as it's cheap. Some of us are not made of money.
I can accommodate. I know a few places around here that are good quality without being wallet breaking.
Fair enough.
Are you an expert in that as well?
And you asked.
He just lives here. All right, so
Okay.
so you guys all hop into Mr. Wilson's very fine automobile and head north. Now the car does in fact have headlamps, yes? And they're
Yes.
functional. Okay.
Yeah, car's in very good shape.
It's the one thing that make sure this is polished. Yeah, the Hudsons are nice. So you're heading north after about 10 minutes because again it's dirt gravel roads. So you're only moving about 20 miles an hour here, which is still way faster than most people ever travel by foot or horse or carriage or any of that kind of fun stuff. And after about 5 or 6 minutes there of leaving the southern part of town and you're on the road, you see sort of reflections up in the distance ahead of it. It looks like a car on the side of the road with some smoke pouring out of the hood. And there's a man out there just trying to wave you down to try and get some kind of help there.
This is a
Yeah.
classic trap.
Who would be wanting to trap us? We're just looking into some
I'm
crazy
sure I
guys.
don't know. I just thought I'd inform you.
Okay. Russians aren't paranoid at all.
Yeah, I'm totally pulling the car over as soon as I see. And I'll leave the lights on, leave the
Of
car
course.
running when I and I'll hop out to go see if I can help.
My brass knuckles on just in case.
Okay. So Thomas walks up to the gentleman just hanging out by the car, and he's wearing a nice suit, and suit and tie and all that, and said, "Oh, thank you so much for pulling over. Left the docks 30 minutes ago, and I don't know the car's overheating or something, and these new automobiles, I don't get them. But Harold reached out and offers you his hand.
I'm Thomas Wilson. Pleased to make your acquaintance, sir.
Oh, pleasure.
Would
pleasure.
you like me to take a look at it? I understand these things can be quite temperamental.
Oh, yeah. If you know what you're looking at, please, by all means. And he leads you around, and it's one of the side opening hoods, so you go over to the right side of the car and you can pop it up. As you pop it up, it just a whole bunch of white smoke pours out of the car.
That's
Do you
not
have
exciting.
any knowledge that would help you with mechanical repair or anything along those lines?
I mean, there's some.
All right, why don't you go ahead and give me a repair mechanical roll just to sort of gauge what we're looking at here.
So I have a 10, which is my score. I rolled a 7.
Hey, there we go. So
That was for you, Jay.
Excellent. Yeah, it looks like his car is overheated. It's out of coolant of some kind. Out of radiator fluid, I guess would be a good. Yeah, that's I'm glad we're burning the good rules here, guys.
Right. Yeah. You have to keep the coolant filled. Have you been doing that, or maybe you got a leak, or?
I thought I had.
All right, well.
Yeah. What does it take? Like water or something like that? Does that work?
I mean, as far as I know.
All right. So where are you guys going anyway? It's a little, dark out here to be, traveling. Is it just you or?
Well, no, there's the 4 other people in the car back there, but we're heading off to our boarding house, get something to eat. We've had a pretty busy day today.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Now, can I ask you another question?
Okay.
So it's a little awkward here, but I need to know where a friend of mine came back from Peru recently, and I understand you might be poking around here. I need his stuff. Where is it? I'm
sorry, excuse me?
And he pulls out a pretty funky looking knife.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I'm more than confident you understand what I'm talking about here. I'm gonna need all of the stuff that he brought back.
Well, son, I don't think you want to do that, and I will just kind of pull my jacket back to show my revolver on my hip.
Yeah.
Now, I've been a police officer for over 45 years, and if you think you can stick me with that pointy little thing before I get to my gun, you go right ahead.
Well, you've stumbled on something that you have no business to be playing with here, officer. So I think it'd just be easiest if you just give us our stuff and leave town. We got this.
And I say this kind of loud. So, young man with the knife. I'm making sure that everybody behind me can hear. I've driven an awful long way from South Georgia to be here, and I'm not going to let a little punk like you tell me what I'm supposed to do. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull my revolver.
Okay, go ahead and roll a dex check to pull the revolver because he sees you going for it also.
Okay, that is a no, I must have been lucky. That is just a regular success.
Regular success. All right. He also got a regular success. So you guys are doing, you get it out as he's, coming at you.
Okay.
Everyone up in the cars though, go ahead and give me a listen check here to see if you can, hear what he's doing because the engine is still running.
Listen. Okay.
Not great.
Just barely a success.
Success?
Yes, regular success.
Just barely a fail.
Barely
Fail.
fail. Okay. Fail, success. Jess?
Well, the one competent in a fight passed. That's important.
That's
That is, that looks like a what? Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm still trying to figure out how to read this. I got a 31.
For yours, let me pull. Yeah, no, that's a hard success there.
Cool.
Yeah, you did very well. So yeah, the two of you very clearly hear that there's some very loud conversations happening up there, and Dr. Watson even hears that it's he hears the talk about, or she hears talk about the knife, and there's definitely something happening up there.
I knew it.
Of course. Of course.
Paranoid Russian lady called it.
Trust my instincts, please.
She's not paranoid if she's right.
Now, what is Gareth's or Thomas Gareth Wilson's dexterity there, or dex?
80.
80. Okay. But you do have a readied firearm out.
Yes.
Because he's lunging at you with that knife.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna do anything about that, or? Because
So
you do have a plus. You have, because it's a ready firearm. You are currently at a 130 for your dex, which is
Okay.
better than anything I can spit at you with this dude.
okay. So yeah, if he's coming, so I want to. I'm not going to shoot right away. I want to dodge. If he's coming at me, I kind of want to try to sidestep. And
Okay.
and yeah, I'm going to try and sidestep and just kind of push him away from me.
Okay.
So
So
you
yeah,
can spot,
he's slashing at you
Okay.
with a 96. So I'm willing to bet that you're going to be able to avoid that.
I rolled a 9. So.
9. Yeah, you managed to push him to the side a little bit, and you're not even grappled. You just sort of like stiff arm him out of the way.
Yep. And I will take a couple of steps back to put some distance between me and him, and just level my pistol right at his chest.
Okay. All right. Back towards the front of the car, or back towards where your friends are.
Back, so in the opposite direction of where kind of sidestepping him. So I guess kind of more out into the road a little bit. I'm just trying to put a couple of feet of distance so that he's not within arm's reach of me anymore.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I'm just going to level my pistol at him. Now, why don't we try this again? And you put that sticky thing down.
Nope. It's we're done here. And he jumps at you again.
And I shoot him.
You shoot him. Okay.
Well, I shoot
yeah. So
him.
you are point blank.
Yeah. Mhm.
So feel free to roll.
That's how that goes.
Yeah. That is how that goes.
Try to be reasonable.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting him to do so bad at the stab. So yeah, because you're point blank, you get a roll with a bonus die. So go ahead and remove some of his innards.
So that's let's see, that's a 31, which is a regular success. And that's going to be a D10 for damage plus my I roll my damage bonus, or I roll my damage bonus. So that's going to be that is 11 points of damage.
Yeah. So the what is it? 32 revolver, right?
Yeah, 38.
Yeah, just
38.
38.
Mhm.
Goes off. You hit him square in the chest, and everyone in the car, whether or not you heard it before, or heard what was going on before, you very clearly hear the gunshot, and you see this man hit the ground and just like a sack of potatoes there. He is now on the ground, not moving.
And I'm going to immediately just swing and look around to see if anybody else is around other than the companions, and just kind of yell, y'all may want to get out here. Keep your eyes out.
Yeah, I wanna grab my carbine and I guess load it, and then also do like a sweep of the surroundings in case he had any friends.
Okay.
Jesus, where did that rifle come from?
Anybody else
I know
doing
how to
anything?
hide gun in car.
Anybody else up to anything right now, or are you just getting out of the car and see what's happening?
Well, I pull out my little Derringer and basically hold it ready to go, but I get out of as I get out of the car to see what happened.
I do not get out of the car.
That's not a gun.
Jean's getting out, and she's going to look at Dr. Rose and go, "You just going to sit here by yourself?"
I get up into the driver's seat just in case.
You're gonna drive off with the car.
That's fair.
Leave
that's
us
fair.
here.
Okay,
Just in case, I'll stay here.
Just remember, Doctor, we live in the same town. You run away from us now, I come find you later.
Somebody's got to keep watch over these things from the professor. I'm not going to leave him here in the car unattended.
Okay, as long as
That
that's
is
your
an
motive.
acceptable excuse.
Okay, so you guys are, as you're looking around, it's hard to see, immediately, basically anything that's not immediately off the road because there are trees on the sides. Basically, you're going through a kind of a thin wood, so your headlights kind of end up blinding everything that's not directly ahead of you and sort of creates a screen on the sides. So Thomas notices that there is nobody else in the car. It's a pretty standard Model T. It's not a great looking automobile. It's kind of budget. But just doing a quick once around, no, he appeared to be traveling by himself.
Okay, I'm gonna look him over, see if he has anything on him, identification, documents, anything like that.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'll as I move towards him, I'm assuming Lana is coming this way.
Lana, are you going that way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will give.
You want to check the car while I check him?
I do.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and do this just in the order that I have it written down. So as you're looking over, Harold here, one of the, the immediate thing that jumps out is, as you're checking him, he has a pretty big wallet in his front breast pocket that you managed to not shoot. He's dead. 11 damage, sort of, rung his bell. But
You warned him.
Yeah, you did. You did warn him. In the wallet is about $75. He was traveling with quite a lot of money there. And some just scraps of paper and, club cards and stuff that indicate he's from Boston. And full name you're getting is Harold Giel. And beyond that, he's dressed pretty nicely. It is a pretty nice suit. It's not a zoot suit, but the most sort of striking thing about his appearance is A, his eyes are still open, and B, he has a curious lapel pin that is very, very familiar to you there, Thomas. Yeah, you think that you're looking at the yellow sign again on his lapel.
Hey, can somebody come take a look at this for me? I think I see that thing again, but I want to know if I'm seeing it or not.
And for any of our viewers there, that's the
Caroline.
sign behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Just to
Caroline walks over to take a look.
That's, and I point to the pin. I see that sign that y'all were telling me I wasn't seeing. Is it there or not?
Absolutely.
Do I recognize it and not go crazy?
Yeah, it's you've seen this before. Yeah.
Okay.
It is absolutely that sign.
I say, yeah, Thomas, that's absolutely it. He must have something to do with all of this.
Right. And I'm gonna grab the pin. I reach on, I grab a handkerchief and I pick it up and I just kind of wrap it up and put it in my pocket.
Okay, and now over to Lana digging around in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and, because this is more complicated than just searching a person, give me a spot hidden roll here.
Spot hidden. Not awful at this.
No, you're not. I mean, 40 is not terrible.
But I am today.
You
I
didn't
did not
succeed.
get it. Nope.
Okay. So as you're going around on there, just poking around and stuff, you don't really find anything too wild.
Mhm.
You do find some, the biggest thing is in the actual glove compartment because, it's an old car and you put gloves in there then, it is rental car paperwork. So this is not his automobile.
Oh, good. Tiny typing I cannot read.
Yeah, it was rented from the next town over, probably at the docks there, but it's in Dartmouth is the next town to the east. But otherwise, nothing particularly exciting in the car.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't have much.
Dr. Gene Watson, what are you up to?
Jean is probably inspecting the body to see if there's like if the eyes before they died were dilated too much, or if there was like any sign of head injury or trauma.
Okay. Yeah. Go with a medicine check on that. Which you should be good at this. So let's get another success under our belts.
Should be. I've rolled a 76. So
76. Well, he's definitely dead.
You would hope so.
Yeah. But what you do find is that besides the sucking chest wound, he seems to have been in pretty good health. Like there's no, he doesn't appear to have like jaundiced face or eyes or anything like that. He doesn't, there's nothing that looks like he's, been sick or, particularly hardworking. He's like, no, he looks like a standard, kind of white collar worker.
What did he say to you before you shot him?
He said he had a friend that had come back from Peru and he knew about the stuff that we found and he wanted it back. And I'll point to the knife. He pulled that on me. I tried to get him to put it down, but he came at me and I shot him.
Not a lot of choice. Came at you with a knife.
That's reasonable.
Hmm.
What is the protocol for this type of thing? Do we just leave him here on the side of the road?
Well, I at the very least need to report this to the local police. I owe them at least that much.
Is that wise?
Well, I mean,
It was in defense. We're all witnesses.
Will they believe that? He had the gun. Our man here had the knife.
With 4 witnesses to attest to Mr. Wilson's integrity here, I can't see how they can't believe it.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, I haven't been a police officer for over 40 years. I owe it to the locals here to play this one by the book.
All right.
Okay.
If you are not comfortable, I can't handle it on my own, but of course your statements would be helpful.
Happy to provide.
We'd better come with you.
Everything
Also-
okay out there?
Yes, you are not going to die tonight.
Dr. Rose is still here. I love it.
Just like looking out the car windows, into the trees.
So how far away are we from the dock right now?
From the dock, you've been traveling for about 5 to 10 minutes here, so probably about 1.5 miles. It's about the halfway point between the south and the north parts of town.
Okay. Dr. Rose, or any of you for that matter, I think it would be best if I and maybe one or two others stayed here with the deceased, and maybe one of you could head back to the dock or head into town and try to ring up the local police.
We may also want to check on the truck. If he was after the professor's things, the truck may not be secure.
Do we know where the truck is right now? I mean, we don't know where it is until it arrives at the university.
You guys paid to build it to go to the university.
We sent it to the history department, so not that we know where that is, but
Best we can do is call the university and see if they received the shipment.
I think these are definitely good ideas.
And we shouldn't split up too far. If there are crazy people with knives trying to get this stuff, we should stick together as much as we can.
It was foolish of him to pull a knife on a man with a gun. I can't figure that out.
Desperation does strange things to the mind.
I suppose.
So what's the plan?
I should go with whoever talks to the station. My father used to be a cop there. I know some of them.
Maybe I should guard the car and body then.
I should probably stay with Lana in case anything happens. I'm at least here to help.
Yeah, I think it would be best, since I was the one that did the shooting, that I stay here as well. So, be here when the police arrive.
I know where the precinct is. I can make it there pretty quick.
Oh, let's go, Doctor.
All right. I'll wait for Miss Billings to get in, and then we'll take off. And
Okay, and the precinct, the officers or the police station's up at the northern part of town. It takes you about 10 minutes to actually get to the precinct itself, but you park and walk on in. There, you're met by there's someone sitting behind a just a sort of a high desk, sort of built into the wall there, and looks at him. Hello, what can I do for you?
Well, officer, we were with some friends and we have a bit of a situation. Somebody attacked one of our one of the people who was with us, and he was forced to shoot him in self-defense. We came to report it to you first thing.
on the road between here and the docks, we pulled over to help somebody who appeared to be having car trouble, and he tried to mug our friend or something, pulled a knife on him. They're still at the road with the man in his car. If you'd like to get some officers and follow us back down there, that would be appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah. You all stay right here. I'll be right back. And he gets up and goes into into the room behind them. After about a minute or so, 3 police officers come out, and then he also follows them. These 3 officers will go with you. How far down the road did you say this was?
About the halfway point between here and the docks.
He's taking notes. And what did you say happened exactly here?
There's a man on the side of the road, looked like he was having car trouble, so we pulled over. One of our friends got out to help him. The man pulled a knife on him. It looks like there was a brief struggle, and our friend was forced to shoot him. He's a former police officer from down south, if that helps. He asked us to come and get y'all immediately.
All right, well, we appreciate that. And are either of you armed at the moment?
I'm not, sir.
I raise my hand and I say, I have a small holdout weapon. I didn't use it. I didn't even realize there was a struggle until I heard the gunshot.
All right. Just keep it holstered there.
No worries, officer.
All right. And when did this happen?
20
10 minutes
ago?
ago, maybe. We came straight here afterwards.
All right. Well, they'll follow you in your car there. We have our own patrol car, so you all just drive carefully, and when we tell you to stop, you stay back.
Yes, sir.
Right. And they go out to their own car and pull around behind you, or behind the car that you guys came in.
Yeah, we'll just head right back out the way we came.
All right. And so while they're gone, we're going to go ahead and cut back to the scene of the murder. So what's happening down there, everybody?
I actually want to take cover in the woods so I can be obscured if any one of this guy's friends comes back, so I can take a shot on them from a hidden spot.
Okay.
You never know.
I will have gone to my car and got maybe a tarp or something, ground cloth or something like that, just to cover the body.
Okay. Yeah, you can find you probably have a blanket or something in there.
And I will also have taken my my pistol out of its holster and set it on the hood of the car as we're waiting. I want it to be away from me when the police get here.
Fair enough.
The Russian lady with the rifle is hiding in the woods. All right, that's great.
You go really well for you
Fantastic.
guys.
The police are coming. Hello.
And
they won't see me unless they need to.
unless they're looking for people in the woods. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Jess, what's happening with the doctor?
Jean is likely just pacing, still trying to figure things out, just thinking. Nothing too specific. She's just pacing, thinking.
Okay. So about a half hour after they depart, you see them. You know, the headlights coming down the road. It looks like there's two pairs of headlights. And you guys, Corey and Dr. Rose and and Caroline and are clearly getting closer. And you all can see the reflection off of the car in front of you guys. You guys going to slow down here, or what are you all going to do?
Us in the car, are we going to slow down? Is that what you asked?
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys slow down, the cop car comes up alongside you and asks, "Hey, is this it up right there?"
Yes, just up ahead.
All right, turn your car off. Stay here.
Yes, sir.
All right, and they drive on. So then they get down to you guys down there, and the three officers jump out of the car and are looking around. All right, what's happening down here, everybody?
Yeah, as soon as they stop their car, I will have stepped out a little bit, and I'll have my PI's ID out. Thank you, officers. My name is Thomas Gareth Wilson. I am a private investigator from the state of Georgia, and there was a bit of a scuffle here, and I had to shoot this young man, and we felt it appropriate to report it to you as soon as possible.
All right. And he gestures to another one. Hey, check out the body. All right. Now, before we go anywhere else here, where's the weapon?
It is on the hood of my car over there, officer.
It'd be the hood of his car, because they took your car into the city.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So hood of his car. Yeah.
All right. And you got anything else on you here?
That is all that I have on my person.
Okay. So in your own words here, tell me exactly what happened.
Yes, sir. My friends and I, my acquaintances and I were coming back from the docks, and we saw this gentleman pulled over on the side of the road. He waved us down. I pulled over, and he asked me to look at his engine. He was having some trouble. I opened the engine, and there was a lot of white smoke. It looks like he had his coolant had gone out. We talked briefly about some options to repair his vehicle, and that he then told me that he knew why we had been to the docks, and that he was looking for the personal effects of my client, which is why we were at the docks, and then he pulled a knife on me.
And that's when you shot him there?
Well, no. I showed him that I was armed. My pistol was in the holster at the time. I warned him that I was a former police officer. He took a stab at me. I sidestepped him and drew my weapon. I warned him again. He tried to stab me a second time, and I shot him.
All right. And while this is going on, the other two cops are speaking with, or one of them is looking at the body, and the other one is speaking with Dr. Watson there, and again asking you very similar questions. Tell me what happened, that kind of stuff. Any reason, or you're going to be truthful on this one here, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Seems to be checking out here. All right. Everybody, come over here. Let's see what's going on. And by now they've looked at the body. It's just to expedite things a bit here. They look at the body, and yeah, it's a dead dude. Congratulations, one for you. And they're just giving you the rundown on this one. All right. So it looks, this is not great. Don't know who this gentleman is here, but did you guys do anything else while you were here? Why was he? What did he say he was looking for exactly? You're from out of town. What are you doing in Westport here?
Well, we are. Is it Professor Carlisle? What's the name again? Cromwell. We are working for the family of Professor Cromwell from the university. He has recently fallen ill following a trip, and we're trying to see if we can help them out. We had gone down to the docks to secure his personal effects from a ship he recently returned on. And that's why we were arranged for them to be shipped back to the university, and we were heading back into town to get some dinner.
Okay. Well, we don't have anything to hold you on here at the moment. Just doesn't seem... It does sound like everything's looking like it was self-defense here. Just, you all do me a favor. You stay in Bristol County while we're working on this. Where are you all staying?
I give him the name of the boarding house that I'm in.
All right. Well, yeah, we'll swing by if we have any questions. Sorry this happened to you, and thanks for bringing it up. We're reporting it easily, and please stay safe around here and try to avoid causing more trouble.
Thank you, officers. We will do our best.
All right, we'll take care of this here. And with that, they sort of gesture for you to leave.
I'll shoulder my rifle and just kind of like walk out of the woods, really nonchalant.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just like up to the, sneakily to the car, or just gonna walk into the middle of where everybody's hanging out here? And
yeah, I'm just walking towards our Hudson. Is that the name of our car?
Hudson,
the Hudson. Yeah.
Are you trying to not be seen by the cops at all, or
no?
Okay.
We're trying to make it easy on you as a DM to make us all go crazy and die. Yeah.
Drama.
Yeah. All right. Well, the cops did. Yep, they absolutely see you coming. Hey, you! What are you doing?
I was providing Overwatch.
What? Is she with you?
Yes, she's with us.
The hell is she?
She's a little paranoid. I'm sure you understand. We were just held up.
I knew this was a trap. The man pulled the knife. I'm officially not paranoid. You will listen to me in the future.
But the man who pulled the knife is
You're in the car with me.
No. Oh, sorry.
Oh my god. All right. Detective, she's with you, right?
Oh, that is correct, sir. Yes.
All right. Can you get her out of here, please? This is...
I would already be gone if you hadn't called out to me. Very inefficient.
And they get back to work, taking notes on the scene, and they have lamps out and all that, and they're looking around, and they get back to work as you guys walk back towards your car.
Just to get out of the driver's seat and go back to the back seat.
The rumble seat.
Back seat in the middle, feet on the hump.
All right, and you guys drive back into town now.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so you guys, again, it takes about 10, 15 minutes to actually get to the boarding house where everybody from out of town is staying. Unless you guys want to go to one of the private residences here.
Just to drop by.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to live, because two of them do live here.
I mean,
one
place to work with a little more privacy. We can come to my home office. It's
Oh, that sounds
an
fine
option.
to me. At least we can be sure nobody's going to jump out at us with a knife in his home office, presumably.
Fairly
You
certain.
can never be sure of that.
We can be surer.
How did they know where we were to meet us on the side of the road like that? Is nobody else thinking about that?
Was that like the most obvious route from the docks into town?
Yeah, it's a 1920s town. The actual highway that runs there today isn't there. So there's only a limited number of ways to go there, and that's the obvious way. It's effectively.
It was a sensible guess.
But nobody knew we were going to the docks.
They most certainly knew what we were doing, and I do not know how, but there is something else afoot.
We should probably get back in touch with Lucy, see who else she asked.
Do you think he might have had anything to do with the evidence we found at the break into the professor's apartment?
More than likely.
Seems likely.
Maybe they were just watching the docks for somebody to unload all the stuff.
Well, I don't know about you all, but I am not comfortable staying by myself tonight.
If they were watching the docks to unload, for someone else to unload the stuff, why didn't they just try to unload the stuff themselves?
Because they didn't have the paperwork to get on. I mean, Captain didn't let us on until we provided all sorts of, bill of lading, tickets from the professor, all that stuff that we got from, what's his face? Peter.
Evidence can be forged.
By who? Do you know somebody?
It doesn't
Why
need
do
to be
you?
good necessarily, it just needs to be good enough.
You did not answer the question, folks.
I'm just saying the possibility exists. So why didn't they take it?
It's just easier to rob people than try and forge things when all you got's a knife. Knives don't write very well.
Evidently.
I don't know.
Evidently it's not.
Perhaps he was not in the right state of mind. Again, he pulled a knife on a man with a gun. Very suspect.
Fair.
So you get to the doctor's office. I'm assuming that's where you guys said you were going, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming this conversation was happening in the car as you guys were going there.
Mhm.
And you pull up to Dr. Rose's place. Corey, can you describe Dr. Rose's place a little bit here for us?
It is not very big. He doesn't have a lot of patience. But he has he has a nice sign out front. He's kept that in good condition. When you come in, it's kind of into the office space first. He's got some very nice furniture. It's old furniture. This isn't new. This is definitely like desks and chairs that he's like inherited from family over the years that he just brought with him and had moved down. None of the things in here are new, but it looks like it was good and expensive probably when it was new.
Okay. And is this a apartment or is like a row house? What are we talking
Little
about?
row house, yeah.
Little row house. Okay. Yeah. So you guys managed to get a spot not too far from Dr. Rose's insanatorium, and
It's just I see patients or customers, as the case may be, occasionally.
okay. And you guys walk inside. So the house is exactly as you left. I believe it opens up into your sort of your sitting room / office area.
Yeah, and then there's doors that lead into like the rest of the house, the kitchen and living room, but those are also locked and require another effort to unlock.
And it does not appear to have been broken into at all. This place is as you left it.
There's a big table in here, some chairs, and there's a couch, and then my desk, and a couple bookshelves along the walls.
All right. So what are you all doing now that you're in the good doctor's place?
Well, first I think we need to do a sweep just to be sure.
I really don't think that's necessary, Miss Evans. The doors are all locked still. And it's mostly because the rest of my house is definitely not as clean as my office.
We've all been.
Do you
there.
want to
Not
be
say that
wrong?
out loud. All right, and I'll go and unlock the door that leads into like the living space of my house.
Okay.
After you,
Messy bachelor quarters.
basically, yes.
I've seen verse.
Doesn't look like it was ransacked like at the doctor's apartment, but it's still not that. It's not very
Yeah.
clean nonetheless.
Yeah. So you give a very quick rundown of basically one bedroom apartment or row house here, and it's fine. It's messy. We've all lived there. Outside of this frame here, it's not great either. But no one sees your part. Otherwise, everything is pretty much exactly where you left it, or where you think you left it.
Doctor, would it be too much of an imposition if I asked you for something to drink? Preferably something in the hard liquor persuasion.
Certainly, and I go over to my desk, and I've got a nice bottle of scotch in there that I pull out.
Nice. This is 1923 again. Just going to put that out there.
Everyone had bootleg liquor.
The desk was locked.
Oh, okay. There we go.
I thank you, Doctor. And I'm just gonna take my drink and just kind of go sit down somewhere. It's clearly
It's like
bothering me that I just shot somebody.
there's the stereotypical couch that you could lay down on if you wanted to. But the big
So
like
much
wingback
troubling
chair
you,
next to
Mr.
it.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are the rest of y'all doing? Now that Mr. Wilson's got himself a drink.
Well, now that I've done the sweep, I'm gonna go keep Mr. Wilson company if he'll have me. I'm not gonna drink. I'll just like sit there.
I will totally take a drink and then sit down with Mr. Wilson and Miss Evans.
I'm pulling out like the rubbings and papers and stuff and the doctor's journal, and I'm spreading them out on the table in my desk, and I'm gonna start perusing.
Okay. Any conversation happening here, or?
Jean's probably going to sit close to Caroline and do like some reflex tests that are a little longer just to make sure she's still okay. Very paranoid.
That is fair.
You'll probably also tell me not to be drinking right now.
Yeah, definitely. I'll probably, like, as you lift the cup, take it out of your hands and put it close to me.
Hey, I needed that.
No, you don't.
Doctors.
They're not all quacks.
I didn't call her a quack. I called her a spoil sport.
No, but there's someone else here you've called a quack.
Multiple times.
He is a quack.
Like
Says the old furniture expert. Ooh.
Hey, at least that's a real form of expertise. Parapsychology.
Ooh.
Okay, so just to get back on track here. So as you're checking her over, yeah, she did bump her head a little bit there, but all her faculties kind of seem to be there. Whatever happened to her in the ship is not having any long-term consequences, or at least short-term consequences in the meantime. She doesn't seem to be have any neural damage.
All right.
Does that mean I can have my drink now?
Sure. She's going to slide it back to you.
Thank you, Doctor.
But no more of whatever the hell just happened, please. I know Dr. Rose is perusing over these paperworks, but please nobody touch anything further. I know he's probably already far gone as it is.
Fair.
Like papers in hand, I just look up like, what?
All right, so Dr. Rose, as you are digging through all this and actually looking, there's a couple things that you need to do for me here. First, you need to remember that the journal that you have does have a deciphering guide. So I'm assuming that's where you're going here to try and actually figure out what these etchings of the tablets say.
Yes.
And second thing you actually do need to do for me is I need you to make a sanity check here, because
Knew it.
there's quite a bit of nonsense happening here. But you have quite a lot of sanity, so I'm not too worried about it.
I do.
If you hadn't said that, now that you said that, he's gonna flub the roll.
I'm staying positive.
He's
all
gonna
right?
roll 100, isn't he?
He has enough luck to be able to get all the way down, even if he does roll 100
Nope.
here.
I rolled a 17. So
17.
Out of
good.
under the 75 sanity score I have.
Yeah, that's you did very well there. Yeah, so as you're digging through all this, you start picking up, some, just going through the what would be basically like the headers and stuff. Because just vaguely trying to figure out what you're looking at here. And some of the things that you're coming up with are, it looks like these tablets might have been named things like Petition of the Unnameable, Silence the Unspeakable, Seal of Ages, Journey to Carcosa, Ballad of Carcosa, and Rite of Salts. And it takes you about 15 minutes to really get that.
Lots of things you just said, and I only only able to write down like one of them. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk later.
Here, I'll get him into the chat for you. What is while he's furiously scribbling about this kind of stuff, what is everybody else doing?
After I would say probably about that 10 or 15 minute time frame, I'd nurse that drink, and then I will pull out my notebook and go sit over next to Dr. Rose. Have you found anything interesting there, Doctor?
Lots of things. I thanks to Professor Cromwell, I'm able to translate some of this. I don't know what any of it means yet, but I'm coming up with some headings at least. So organize some of this and my thoughts later.
And those are all the headings are like they basically titles. They're at the top of each of the tablet etchings.
So wait, it's all very esoteric. Very obscure and vague names.
So the tablets themselves are almost they're clay etched tablets at one point because you did see them. But what you have here is they're all engravings or impressions that have been pushed into the material. There's usually a large title-looking thing at the top, sort of a block of text or more scribbles, some kind of etchings on the side, then a larger, wider etching. And then up in the upper right-hand corner there, taking up about a quarter of each of these tablets, is things are some kind of art, it looks like. Some of them look like they're just star signs or star charts. A couple of them are just esoteric symbols you've never seen before. Every one of them does have the yellow sign on it that you do recognize that, yes, this is sort of scattered throughout them. But the petition of the unnameable is exclusively, the symbol in the upper right-hand corner is exclusively a very large version of the yellow sign. That's the only, everything else is sort of artistic there. That's the only one that is exclusively that.
This is like the, embossed, finely detailed artistic rendering of it. All right.
Yeah, imagine like a textbook page where it's like, hey, we're describing this monster manual entry. I don't know why I said textbook. It's a monster manual entry with the picture of the monster art there, just to make it easy for everybody to understand. Because I was busy this week.
I appreciate the frame of reference. Thank you.
So that's what these all kind of look like. They're explaining something, and the thing they're explaining is in the art. Kind of. So it's about 8 o'clock now, and you guys still haven't had dinner. What else are you guys going to be up to for the evening? Now that we have all of this delightful information.
Dr. Rose,
Yes,
do you
doctor.
have any food here?
Some.
Is anybody else peckish? I'm
Yes.
hungry.
I'm starved. And maybe there's a restaurant nearby, Dr. Rose. I don't know if you need. I don't know if you've got enough to feed all 5 of us just from whatever you've got here.
Only if your diets are very open and your stomachs are very small.
Yes. But you make me suspicious of what your offerings are.
Little is what my offerings are, unfortunately. But there is a diner just a couple blocks away, if that would suffice. If you're
A
hungry.
diner. Perfect.
Let's
Very
do that.
public. Yes.
Okay. What are you going to tidy up before you guys go, or just lock the door behind you?
Yeah, I'm gonna put everything away. I'm gonna file it, put it in my locked desk drawer, and make
Okay.
sure my house, my living quarter doors are locked back, and I'll lock my front door on the way out. I'm sure at Lana's urging as well.
Yeah, it sounds like something she'd do.
Security minded.
He literally knows someone is looking for us and what we have.
So
That's
I'll
fair.
make sure it's all locked up.
And just curious, which one of you was holding the pendant from the first session here? The one that was in the box.
I think I'm the last one to have it still.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna leave it here with all your stuff?
No, it's still in my coat pocket. I'll just leave it there.
Okay.
for now.
That works for me. So you
You
guys
don't want to let
uh,
go of it, do you?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. I've passed all my sanity checks. I don't know
Yeah,
what you're talking
you're doing
about.
wonderfully.
I'm the most. No.
Yeah, the
Probably not.
parapsychologist is the sanest of all of you somehow. Yeah, we've all seen Ghostbusters. So you guys walk a couple blocks
Don't mess
north,
with me,
and you
man.
get to the Westport Main Diner. That's the name of it. It's okay. It's not the fanciest place in town, but it's also the closest.
The food's edible, I'm happy. And I know the food's edible.
Yeah, you would have been to the Westport Main a couple times. So you guys walk in. You manage to get yourself a couple tables pushed together, and there's a delightful diner menu's worth of stuff, and you all get everything that you order. No, nothing too wild happens. But over the next 90 minutes that you guys are hanging out in the diner, unless there's something you guys want to talk about, we can just montage that and get you guys on to, off to
Like a good montage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Everybody needs a montage. Yeah, need a montage. I don't know if we got that cleared, but we're going to do it anyway. So yeah, that's, you spend about 90 minutes just enjoying a good meal. And yeah, unless there's anything you guys want to do in the diner, you walk out about 90 minutes later.
Good enough for me.
No. So
Had some chowder.
I had pancakes.
So where to now, guys? Or we're just going to call the evening?
all the evening, but I'm a little worried about security given that we got assaulted by a crazy guy with a knife, or rather,
can take
Mr. Wilson
watches.
did. Well, originally I was planning to just go home, but now I'm not so sure staying alone's the best plan right
Yes,
now.
we should not be alone or separated.
I am inclined to agree.
See, smart lady agrees with me.
I am afraid I do not have 4 other beds at my residence.
I can literally sleep anywhere.
Perhaps Dr. Watson and Lana would care to stay at my place for the evening, and Mr. Wilson can go home with Dr. Rose.
That sounds fair.
All right.
Certainly, you can stay in my home. It's fine. Perfectly fine.
Okay. And Caroline doesn't live too far away. It's only about a 10-minute walk to get to her place. Westport's not a huge town, especially not in the main village area.
There goes Lana with her rifle slung over her shoulder,
Yeah.
walking up the street.
And it's a typical New England town. Russians walking the streets with long guns. It's fine.
Is
It's
it October?
late. It's
Is the sky a
dark.
little bit red?
Oh,
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about, Miss Evans.
Anybody?
No, I got
Did
you.
you-
I just took some sanity damage from that. Thanks.
I was debating doing something there. Be like,
Gonna try and make it all the way through, and that's what did it right there.
Yeah. Anyway, so the three of you end up getting to Caroline's place, no problem. Where does Caroline live? What's is it just above her store or?
She has an apartment above her antique store, yeah.
Perfect, love it.
So I unlock the door and I say, well, ladies, it won't be the best accommodations, but we should be reasonably comfortable until morning.
That is just fine. I'm not picky at all.
Okay.
Better company than, I guess, comfort.
I open the door to the store. We go in, I lock it behind me, and then we go up the stairs at the back to my apartment, and I let them in.
Okay, and every time you go through one of the doors, there doesn't appear to be any signs of break-in or anything like that. So you guys are good right now. All right, and
I will, after doing another quick sweep, just because I can, I will literally just lean up against a wall, have my rifle here, and then do a doze, sort of a wakeful on watch sort of sleep.
Cool. All right,
And
and
a
I'm
loaded firearm in her hands. Just
Yeah,
why do we hang out with this weird Russian person? This is terrifying.
because it's better than hanging out without me.
Dr. Watson, do you have a weapon of some kind?
Honestly, no, but after an emergency or two once upon a time, I keep a scalpel on me sterile. It's in its wrappings in my purse, but that's as far as I go.
I have a spare Derringer. Would you like to borrow it for the duration?
Sure. I will
All
say
right.
it makes me uncomfortable, but sure.
I'd rather you have it and not need it than need it and not have it, Doctor. And
You're
I
right. You're right.
go to my bedroom and go into the safe where I keep the guns, and I take out the spare Derringer and some ammunition, and I give it to her, and I say, have you ever used one of these before?
Once I was very young.
Okay. So I show her how to load it and where the safety is, and just say, you know the rules. Don't ever point it at someone unless you're willing to take them out, and always assume the weapon's loaded and know your target and what's beyond your target. And I hand it to her.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, gun safety. It's important. My father was a cop. He drilled it
Yes.
into me. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so she gets her Derringer, and I'm assuming there's some place, a couch or something that she can crash on. And unless there's anything else going on with you and with that group for the night, we'll go back to the boys' dormitory and see what's happening there, and then move on to the morning.
Probably hanging out in their underwear, no pants.
Right.
You know how boys are.
Yep. Especially when it's a guy I just met today.
Yeah,
It's like,
pillow fights.
Right.
And, yeah.
Uh-huh.
there's a couch. The one you were sitting on before, you were walking, and I think I can find you a pillow.
That's not even necessary, sir. This will be fine. I appreciate it. And I just turn and walk into the room and
Okay.
good night, doctor.
Good night, Mr. Wilson. I go off to my room.
He
Okay.
regrets hanging out with us now.
Grand. So the evening is, it passes, no huge problems overnight. Unfortunately, Mr. Wilson, while you were sleeping, you had some very interesting dreams. You were flying over a landscape that you've never really seen before. It's completely alien to you. There's a large lake of just violet and in purples and blues swirling below you. On the horizon, you can see that it looks like two suns sort of rising up over this scene and setting a brilliant, setting a light effectively to a city of impossible proportions. It is full of skyscrapers that are larger than any you've ever seen. The stuff that you've heard about in New York doesn't even rival the sheer scale and monstrousness of these. And as you approach, you're flying towards the city. And as you approach, you start to get the sense that you're going to something. And the tallest skyscraper catches your attention there. And as you get closer, you see there's a large balcony on this otherwise featureless face, probably 3,000 or 4,000 feet high. Like that, we're talking on that kind of scale. These are monstrously large buildings. And besides, it looks almost like a glass or a stone facade across the entire thing, except for this huge balcony that, as you approach, a very, very tall figure steps out. The sheer scale of this place is beyond you, but a tall figure clad in flowing and sort of tattered yellow robes sort of strides out and sort of glides out onto the balcony. And you can't see his face. You can't see really any other features except sort of a tattered or a tarnished golden or bronze or brassy crown on the top of his head. As you approach the balcony, you're probably 10, 15 feet away. You stop, and it turns to you, and it looks up. And as you can't see its face, but as you sense that it, where eye contact would be, you snap awake. That's it. You're awake now. You wake with a start, covered in cold sweat and stuff. Feel free to make a sanity roll.
Yeah, knew that was coming. That is not good.
Oh no.
It's just a regular failure.
Okay, regular failure is okay.
Is it?
Can you have a harder extreme failure?
Yeah, 100. 100 will pretty much do it for you.
It's pretty extreme.
That I noticed, yes, but
Okay, I need you to go ahead and take 2 points of sanity damage. And
Okay.
and it's for your edification here. It's about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, so it's near when you'd be waking up anyway. However, when Dr. Rose comes into the room, 7:30, 8 o'clock or whatever, he's not going to find you there. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a minute. Ladies, how was your evening? Nothing eventful happened, but you know the sun comes up around 7 o'clock or so, and you all wake up.
Yeah, Dr. Watson is an early riser. She's probably going to make coffee.
I will arise with the smell of coffee.
Okay. So you all are making coffee. You know, if you want, you know, if you feel free to make breakfast and all that stuff. And you're going to head back over towards Dr. Rose's office. Yes.
As soon as we're ready and awake.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dr. Rose, you head into
Not an early riser.
Not an early riser. What time does Dr. Rose normally get up? Or would he be getting up when he's, you know, entertaining?
Entertaining. He might actually be getting up at maybe 9:30 at that point if he knows there's somebody else in the house. Yeah.
Okay. So you wake up to hearing knocking on the door as the ladies end up getting to your place and are, you know, knocking on the main door that gets that leads into your office area.
I throw on my robe or something and go just open it and ladies, and I probably just walked right through there, not even looking for Mr. Wilson initially. Just
all three of them are there.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning.
It does not look good for you.
Haven't had my coffee yet. You'll excuse me.
Ah.
And I'll
Perhaps get dressed as well while you're at it.
wander
Doctor?
back in and close the door and to my living space to go get dressed and start some coffee or something.
Okay, ladies. While he's, you know, bumbling around with very clearly, you know, into it and cognizant of his surroundings, what are you
Just
all
like
doing?
hear clattering and things shuffling.
So for the
We've all
moment,
been there, Corey. We know. Just
I'm assuming that Mr. Wilson is in the bathroom. However, if he does not appear in a reasonable amount of time, I will be like, where's Mr. Wilson?
Okay. And there's his stuff is still there. You know, he still has his overcoat and, you know, whatever small effects he brought in from his car are still clearly there. He slept here last night.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not here.
Mr. Wilson!
Nothing. I mean, everybody else hears you call Mr. Wilson.
What? Is something wrong, Lana? Where's... What's going on?
I thought he was in the bathroom, but he has not reappeared. Mr.
come
Wilson,
back out.
are you here?
I'll come back out and like no, he's not in the rest of the house. I thought he was here. Sorry, I'm not a morning person.
You quiet Russian swear, of which I don't know any.
Oh,
Oh,
man. Okay. But seems like a missed opportunity. Sorry.
I thought you were doing homework for this year.
I clearly didn't do enough.
No, he's not in the rest of my home. I just came out of the bathroom.
You lost track of a person? How do you lose track of a whole person?
He slept on the couch all night. I don't know. I didn't hear anybody come or go throughout the night.
Are any of the windows open?
No. The door was locked, but it's a door that you can, you know, unlock or open while it's locked from the inside.
We should have checked on him. He looked shaken up after that being held at knife point. After having to kill a guy, I can't imagine what he's thinking of.
Well, he seemed fine at the dinner. I
Like,
thought
not
that was the
crazy, not likely to just wander off.
Well, sometimes you need a walk.
Maybe he's just clearing his head.
Without
It's
telling
early.
anyone he was
Very-
leaving?
It can be a very traumatic event for somebody, having to take another human life. He's a police officer. I'm sure he's dealt with this sort of thing before. He's probably just walking it off, getting some fresh air.
No,
Perfectly
he's
normal.
not that stupid to go off by himself when people are looking for us.
And his coat is still there.
Is his gun still here?
It is.
I
His gun is still here too.
Yeah, and his shoes.
He would never have gone off without any of all of those things.
Okay, I'll give you that. That is very unusual.
Okay. Well, we gotta look for him.
Is his car still out front?
It is.
Are his car keys still in his coat?
They are.
Hey. Well, I'm gonna grab his stuff. I'm gonna hold the gun up and hand that to Miss Evans.
Has anyone seen Mr. Wilson since we walked into the apartment?
Dr. Rose, go ahead and give me a psychology just check here to see if you might be able to actually identify something that you think might be happening here. See if you can't get some influence.
It's a regular success.
It sounds like he might be sleepwalking. Might have sleepwalked out. It's not uncommon. Somnambulism's not, not an impossible thing.
It's like shoes, coat, personal effects he would take off while he's sleeping around here. He is probably sleepwalking. After a traumatic event, it is not an uncommon occurrence, especially with a lifetime of experience in the police force. I'm sure he's had his fair share. That can pile up on a man.
Would he have been able to unlock the door in that state? Was the door locked at the time?
You can get out the front door no matter what, locked or not, from the inside. Well, let's go find him, and I'll grab the keys and go get in the driver's seat.
Okay. So, Dwight, thanks for being patient here. You wake up you're on a river. Not like floating, but you're on a bank of a river. And there's very clearly industry all around you. You can see a factory kind of to the south a little bit, and a bridge just to the north. That's where you are. The river is to the east. You can tell because the sun's kind of coming up in that direction over there. But you are cold. You don't have your jacket. You don't have your shoes. You don't have anything on you. You're just sort of walking around in your trousers and shirt.
Do I see any people around me, or is it just?
You don't see any people per se, but you do. There's some sounds coming from the factory. It sounds like it's starting to spin up.
Okay. Is this factory something I would have known about or seen coming into town?
Yeah, it's the cannery of Westport.
Okay.
So that or shipping are the only industries here.
Okay. So would I have a general idea as to where I am in this town? And
yeah, you can peg it, or you can peg it in. So basically, where you would be is on the map I pushed out last time.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be on the eastern edge. There's a bridge crossing the Eastern River there.
Okay.
So it's not too far from where he left.
Okay.
But it's still, it's a ways to go when you're not actually, quite cogent.
I guess I'm just going to start heading back in the direction that I think I need to go to get back, but just looking for landmarks or a house or a store or anything.
Yeah, easy enough. That'd be heading west.
I want to find a road too. So
yeah, if you had to head either north or south, you can. There is a road that leads to the factory.
Okay.
And the factory is not too far from town. As you get up off the riverbank, you can see where the town is. You can see the church that you guys drove by earlier, and you can get your bearings that way.
Okay. Then I will just start to walk back to town.
Okay.
I suppose along the road.
Sure. It'll be about a 25-30 minute walk to get back there. Everybody else, what are you all doing while he's starting to make his way back to the row house?
So I don't have a lot of tracking ability, but I do have some, and I figured there probably aren't a whole lot of adult men walking around town barefoot. So I might be able, if whatever there's like soft earth or dust or something enough to hold a footprint, I'll look and see if I find.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, the main part of town does has paved sidewalks and road. So without actually just randomly going in a direction, you don't
that's
really
fair.
find anything there. Unfortunately, yeah.
That's fair.
But you guys are just sort of driving around town, I guess, looking, hollering out the windows, Mr. Wilson, where are you?
It's like it's daylight at this point. Is it reasonable for me to assume he's probably awoken at this point?
Yeah, that's probably a fair assumption to make.
Just stay on the main road. I bet we'll probably spot him in his current state of dress if we just take it slow and go back and forth.
Okay. So yeah, after about 15 minutes, you do end up, you see him. He's rounding the corner there on the road to the factory.
Looking like a crazy person.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right.
And as I see the car approaching, I just kind of wave him down and
pull it over and slow down, see how he's doing.
Good morning, Doctor. I appreciate you coming out to find me. I apparently sleptwalked my way out to the river last night.
Let's get you back to the house. Get oriented and situated. We can talk.
I appreciate that. And I'm not even going to motion for I'm just going to crawl around into the back of the car and just kind of slump down. My hands are on my head.
He's had a long night.
So
Yeah.
Jean's picked up his thing. She's at least gonna hand him his coat so that he looks cold. So
Yeah, he's cold. Okay.
for
Excellent.
watching that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you get back to his house, no problem at all.
Yeah. Give him as much time as he needs to get situated, take a shower, whatever, and wait for him in my front office.
Okay.
Where you see patients.
It's like, I'm about to get paid.
Oh no.
Okay. So yeah, he takes a shower. Is there anything you guys want to do while he's doing that, or just wait for him to, small talk is like, oh, that's so weird that he did that. Okay. So he finishes his shower and he gets dressed and he meets you all in the office.
As I walk in, I'm just I just walk right in. Good morning. So I'd appreciate it if we could just move past whatever the hell was just happened. I don't know. I'm just going to put it on top of the pile of weird things that have happened since we got here.
Have you ever sleptwalked before, Mr.
I have
Wilson?
not.
Interesting. I've never had a seizure before either.
Well, if you need to talk, I am good listener.
not to be insensitive, but have you ever fired your gun at a person before?
Oh, well, once or twice. That was
It's
the.
never easy.
It is never easy. I have no regrets for what I did. I did what I had to do, but that does not stop the fact that I had to take your life. And I will deal with that in my own way, but maybe that's what happened last night, but let's continue.
Okay. So what do you guys want to do today?
I would like to go back to the university and test my samples in the biology lab.
Make sure all the stuff got there.
That's true. Maybe take a closer look at some of the stuff.
At some point, I would actually like to go visit the good Professor Cromwell and interview him myself, if at all possible.
We also have the head of the history department is available today.
I also want to talk to Lucy to see who else she's told about all this. Because if we're
Yeah,
having
we should
knives pulled
warn
on
her.
us, we should know what we were looking out for.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's just a matter of choosing what you guys want to do first.
I'm fine with going back to the university first. Yeah.
We have the most to do there. May as well take care of all of that in one go.
Fair enough. Okay.
Take all the rubbings and stuff that I was looking at the night before with us.
Sounds good. All right, so you guys all pile into the Hudson Roadster and head to the university. You get there after about 45 minutes. 1920s travel's slow, but you get there and you pull up to the same spot that you parked at for the history department previously. It's a big stone building, looks Ivy League, but it's not Ivy League because it's not real. But it's it has that look. It's a big brick and stone, has ivy covering the front of the building. It's a very nice building. It looks like college. Where to?
History department. Talk to the department head.
What did we want to ask him about?
He had, he was the one in charge of the expedition, like why they went and where they went and all of that stuff. So,
Is there anything we were going to get out of him that we didn't get out of Peter already?
Maybe. I mean, hard to know if we don't talk to him.
Fair enough.
Okay. So you guys head into the history department, and you end up passing. You get inside the history department's office again, and the secretary is there. She sees you. Oh, hello again. Back so soon?
You told us the department head would be here today. Is he in?
Oh yes, Dr. Sandholm is in. I'll let him know you're visiting. She gets up out of her desk and walks down a small hallway behind her and into a door. About a minute later, she comes back and behind her is a tall, about 6'3", older gentleman, has a a nice sort of close cropped beard, sort of a silver color there. I guess I'm Dr. James Sandholm. How may I help you today?
Well, we'd like to talk to you about Professor Cromwell's trip to Peru, if you don't mind.
Certainly. Right this way. He gestures down the hallway towards his office. And once you all get inside the office, it's a very nice professorial dean's office. There's a handful of chairs. They're all very fine, like basically a completely blanket on the red leather. He has a very nice desk on it. In the front, and the back wall is lined with books. There's small glass jars and glass containers that have artifacts from all over the world, and some maps and cases. It's basically what you would expect, for a very high-ranking, member of the history department, being able to afford when money's not an object because it's a private school. Please, I only have 4 chairs, but sit down if you'd like. What can I help you with? What may I do for you?
Yes. Just any information you can give us about this trip to Peru that the professor took. We spoke with his assistant yesterday, and he was able to provide us with quite a bit of detail. But we thought, since you were the one in charge, it might be worth talking to you for a few moments as well.
Certainly. I appreciate that. Well, let me see. And he flips, pulls open a drawer and starts looking through some files. And while he's doing that, he's idle mission. So it's not unusual for Professor Cromwell to go on these expeditions. He goes on one every 2 or 3 years or so. When a few years after he's changed his sort of the culmination of his research into a topic. He's been looking at the Nazca lines and Nazca Peru, the Incas and all that there for about 3 years now. So this is the culmination of the last few years of work. Typically, here we go. And he pulls out a file. Typically, the department ends up making all the arrangements for him. He takes one of his students, his assistant, with him, and we make some calls. Local workers end up helping, and we send a minimal amount of people. He goes with empty trunks, and he comes back with lots of artifacts, many of which we don't have room to display around the annals of our great halls here, or even in the rare books and museum. But this is what we have. Here we go. And hands over a file that has a whole bunch of receipts and telegrams and other things in there that, inventories and schedules and stuff like that. Anything in particular that you're looking for that I can help you with?
Well, first, Do you know if you received his effects and luggage from the ship? We had it shipped here last night by truck.
I don't know, but I'll check with Erica in a moment. Actually, one moment. And he gets up, walks over his door, and just shouts out, "Erica, did we get a shipment yesterday from the docks?" And you hear a affirmative reply. "Oh, okay, thank you." And closes it. So yeah, it sounds like we got something.
Excellent. We didn't have space in our vehicle and just had it
I understand.
over.
Yeah. He typically brings back far too much stuff.
Given
yes,
the professor's condition, would it be okay if we examine some of what he brought back later to see if we can find any cause or source?
Certainly. That makes sense. You can help us to. We can show you. We have a fine rare books and library and museum that serves as our storage also, so you can see some of our fine things there that the history department is and that Professor Cromwell in particular have brought back. But back to the matter at hand. What other questions may I answer for you here?
Do you know of any? Can you tell us anyone else who went on the trip from the university besides Mr. Becker?
No, it was just the professor and Mr. Beckert. Everybody else, all the hands that were helping to on the digs, I believe were all local hires.
Okay.
Your biology department, is that accessible by other doctors such as myself? I have some samples I want to tested.
I wouldn't know, but is this relevant to Professor Cromwell's work?
I have reason to believe that there may be some parasites or I guess some invasive bacteria that may be doing something to his mind.
Well, if it will help, I'll certainly. He pulls out a piece of paper and jots down a quick note. I'll write you a note and recommend that you're there on school business, and hopefully that will get you something there.
Thank you very much.
Writes it up and
That's your whole pass.
here you go. Hopefully this will get you the access that you're looking for.
Thank you.
What else? It's he's been back almost 2 weeks and been infirmed almost the entire time. It's a true shame. He's one of the brightest minds that we have here, and always brings back some great things for the museum. And anything else we can't fit in there, we end up selling off and making a decent amount of money for the university itself to continue on these great learning lessons here, which all of you recognize that's not unusual at all. It's the 1920s. Grave robbing.
Yeah. Have there been any other instances of school-sponsored trips by any other history professors or anyone else in your department that have resulted in short or long-term psychological episodes?
Not that I know of. No, they've all. The most that we end up coming back with is someone brings back some, exotic foreign disease, like what the fair doctor here is talking about. But most of those are plenty explainable. Someone comes back with malaria, or someone comes back with all sorts of delightful gastrointestinal things. But no one's ever had to end up going to the sanitarium after coming back. This is an unusual one.
Has Professor Cromwell ever suffered any maladies from any of his previous trips at all? Medical, psychological, anything?
Well, he's getting up there in years, and the professor has, I believe, besides dehydration or exposure or anything along those lines, I don't believe he's actually been too bad on any of these. Actually, for his age, he's not too bad.
Nothing exceptionally unusual.
No, nothing you wouldn't expect for someone traveling the world in search of adventure, and at his age.
We found a journal of the professor's. His assistant told us it was written in, I forget the name, but some sort of Inca language. Would you know of anyone who could translate it?
I don't think so. No, we've the only professor currently working on anything with the Inca would be Cromwell, unfortunately.
But I've got a cipher in his journal for that, right? That's what I was able to translate already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Same language, though. Okay. No, yeah.
So if there's unless there's anything else, I do have some other business to attend to here. But feel free to stop by anytime if I'm not here to help. You can always speak with Erica, my secretary. That would be more than happy to answer any questions or even book an appointment.
Just if you could direct us to where the professor's luggage and things are being kept, that would be.
Certainly. Well, so if you go out go deeper into campus here, in the center of the campus, you'll see the museum. It's labeled as the library. The main entrance is through the rare books collection. There's a museum on the right, to the right as soon as you enter in. Into the back of that is our storage center. That's where we store many of the books and artifacts that the professor brings back. So all the stuff should be there. I believe that they unloaded it last night. But I don't believe that we've even started sorting, so it should be there. And the biology lab is going to be on the north end of campus. You should be able to find it there in the science.
We need any special permission to access the museum and the equipment? Can you provide that?
Yes, sure. And he writes down, same thing. It's like,
another hall pass. All right.
Yeah, another hall pass. And hands it over to you guys. All right. Well, anything else I can help you with?
One more question. I pull my handkerchief out and I put that pin in front of him. I took off the guy shot. Does this symbol mean anything to you?
And he takes a good long look at it and makes a sanity check.
Psychotic episode.
No, he actually rolled really well. Yeah, why can't you guys roll 22s on sanity checks? So he's looking at it and, no, I don't recognize it. I'm sorry. Maybe you'll find something in the museum.
Thank you for your time, sir.
Right.
Is he being truthful when he says? Is there any way to tell if he's put on a front at all about that?
Yeah, that sounds like a check
Probably
you guys can make. Let me pull up the rules again to see which. Not sleight of hand. I know there's a check for this.
Struggling here too.
Maybe a spot hidden?
No, it wouldn't be spot hidden at all. You can make a fast talk check if you're, that's the closest I can figure out for this.
Barely. 43 under my 45.
He seems like he's been helpful. All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I wish you all good luck, and please let me know if you need any more help.
Thank you for your time, Professor.
Stands up and gestures towards the door. I think right now is probably a good enough time for us all to take a quick 5-minute break here, just refill our glasses and stretch a little bit. So
Sounds like a plan.
everybody out there and watching us on Twitch, thank you so much. We'll be back in 5 minutes to see what they're going to find in the museum and the biology lab.
Mm-hmm.
See you guys in 5. Welcome back, everybody. So, I hope you all have refilled your glasses. I've got water and an inch of peach tea. It's the prohibition, so whatever. So all of our intrepid investigators here have recently have just finished speaking with the dean of the head of the universe, or the history department, and have a couple new places where they can go. They can go straight to the museum / rare books collection and see what fun things are there, and what more in particular, what things the status of the luggage they shipped last night, or head over to the biology department and speak to the wacky, old school microscope people there, see what they got. So the question is, where do you all want to go?
Split the party.
Maybe not right now.
Anna would object to that, probably.
Yeah.
Split the party.
Yeah.
Let's not.
Split the party.
You did it last night and it didn't cause any problems.
Yeah, last
That's
time we
because
had
it's the
people
night-
looking for us and
Yeah.
what we have.
You're right.
It's
I'm
the
sure that
1920s. We can't stay at the guy's apartment. It's not happening.
Dr. Watson needs to go to the biology lab. I definitely need to go to the museum and look at all this luggage.
Yeah, I think that's
We don't need to take the whole day while half of us sit and wait for the other half to do something. Split the party.
I mean,
I'll
it's
go
a
with-
school. What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, the kids love us.
I'll go with Dr. Rose to look at the antiques and the other stuff the professor brought back.
I will watch the skinny people looking at antiques.
Looks like it's you and me, Dr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson, excuse me.
Shall we go then, ma'am?
I'll be very quick. I'm just dropping off the samples, and hopefully they can have something to us by the end of the day. It takes a little bit, so they'll probably give us a call at one of the residences between Caroline's and Matthew's place.
Well, all this science stuff is very new to me, so I will let you take the lead.
Certainly.
Okay, so you guys head over to the biology department. And you have no problems finding it's on the north end of campus. The campus itself is quite nice. It's basically built around a center quad with there's a fountain there, and you can see, there is in fact that really nice, the library that he was talking about that, has signs for library, rare books library and museum. But you end up walking past that. As you do, your friends break off and go to the, towards the library, and you get to the north end, and you find the biology department or the sciences building, with really no issue there. Once inside, it's pretty simple. It looks a lot like the history department building. They were both built around the same time. Nice, deep red brick exterior, some fancy stonework, and some nice ivy growing on it. The interior is a little bit different. It's not quite the same style with the rooms not being actual lecture halls. A lot of them are laboratories, science labs, that kind of, chemistry labs, that kind of thing. Some of them are even operation theaters in the as you get towards the actual biology area for doing dissections of animals, or maybe even a corpse or two if that's where the course is today. With minimal effort, you can find the main biology offices there. So what would you like to do? Go inside and just, I want to see your scientists.
Pretty much. Dr. Watson's going to probably knock on the door. Excuse me.
Door opens up and someone is on the other side. It's an older student. Probably late or early 20s, and it's a gentleman, and he says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Yes, we were just at the history department. We're investigating something strange. Can I have these samples? She's going to fish into her purse. I want these tested for foreign bacteria parasites. You'll find a lot. It's from Peru, but specifically, anything out of the ordinary. Is that something I have to do? Can I commandeer a student or two?
I mean, we're not a random open laboratory here. We don't take lab tests off the street.
I understand, but it's in the realm of investigating psychosis. If it's contagious, this is kind of important.
Yeah, give me a minute here. I'll go grab the dean, and closes the door on you.
Thank you.
You got a note from the history dean, so I'm like, it's for the school.
Yeah.
So you standing by the door. Both you give me a listen check real fast, just because. Why not?
Why not? Oh, that's an 11.
Hey, yeah, that's probably an extreme success there. So you hear through the door. It's a little muffled, but you hear, the kids talking. Dean Slayton, can you? There's some people here want to use the lab. And okay. So he comes out and asks you. And Dean Slayton is there. He's another older gentleman, just all surprised to be a dean in academia in Massachusetts. You have to be an old white guy. He's there, and he's like, "Yeah, what can I help you with?"
I have this, if it helps. And she's gonna give them the note from the history dean.
Opens it up. Okay, so Sandholm is saying you all have some samples. You're talking about foreign bacteria and parasites.
Yes. So I have reason to believe that the affliction our Professor Cromwell has has something to do with parasites of the mind. So just to have these tested for any such unrecognizable foreign bacteria or parasites of any kind would be
Certainly.
very, very helpful.
Well, if it's
At least
helping out the
narrow it
faculty, and might be able to help out Cromwell, I'll give you one of our graduate students to help you out with this.
Thank you so much.
Please, right this way. And he gestures down the hallway towards the biology labs. Once you guys get into one of the labs, it's, by our terms, it would be kind of antiquarian. There's a lot of, it's all wooden desks. It's all, open flame for the Bunsen burners aren't integrated at all. The whole place is very. It looks like a really good Frankenstein film. The best way to get you the mental image there, turn of the century science was just wild and fun.
Old school and dangerous.
Alchemical in nature, almost.
No one's wearing goggles.
They're holding things right up to their eyes. What is happening here?
Taking big whiffs of it.
The smell of hydrofluoric acid in the morning.
Yeah. It'll clear your sinuses. So
hair on your chest.
No, it takes it off.
Right off.
So yeah, yes, this is. Let's see. We have you over there, Professor Levine. I have one of the lab-coated individuals walks over. Yeah, yes. How may I help you, Professor Levine? This is some friends of ours that are working with Sandholm over from the history department. They apparently have some. What did you say you had?
Likely some samples of possible foreign bacteria. We're just looking for a general parasite or psychosis diagnosis for Professor Cromwell. This is from Peru, so handle with care if you can.
Yes. So they have some things from Cromwell's trip to Peru, and they think that. So anyway, I hope you're not busy. So if you could go ahead and take a look at some of their samples here and see if there's anything there that matches what they're looking for. It might help them out. And I'll leave them in your capable hands. And he leaves. Professor Levine, all right, well, I guess come over here to the specimen table. And clears off a spot and says, please place your stuff here. Let's see what we're working with.
So she's going to hand them the 2 handkerchiefs, one from the shoe from the professor's house, and the other off of the amulet.
Okay. All right. Oh, this is interesting. So you've got some dirt and Is that metal flakes? Okay. Sure. I'll have to. I'm not sure who I have here that will actually be able to help with this. This might be more the chemistry side of things to look into this, but we'll do both checks. Just do a quick cursory and let you know what we find.
Thank you.
It'll probably take a few hours. Be back by the end of the day. If not, if no one's here, we'll see you tomorrow.
That works out for me. Thank you very much.
Excellent. And I'm sorry, what was your name?
I'm Dr. Jean Watson.
Dr. Jean Watson. And
My name is Thomas Gareth Wilson, sir.
excellent. Well, we will. I'll put this here, and I'm assuming you're going to be staying around somewhere. They'll find you.
Yeah, I'm staying at the residence of one Caroline Billings.
Caroline, is she affiliated with the university?
She was. Let's see. She's affiliated with us. That's all I can.
Okay. Well, we'll keep these safe for you for a few days, and if we don't hear from you, we'll hire a private detective or something.
Thank you. We'll be back.
I hand him my card.
Okay, convenient. Thank you so much.
Gotta make the money.
We'll let you know if we find anything here. All right, we'll get to work. And picks up the tray and walks to the other side of the lab and starts, checking some paperwork and, otherwise doing some good stuff. Doing science. Bubbling beakers, lightning rods, all that. Everything that you need for a genuine
Tesla
science.
coils and stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Just,
Gotta have the Tesla coils.
There's at least 2 tables with shackles on them. Like it's a good time.
What kind of a good time? What are these science folks into?
It's a reanimatingly good time.
Oh.
That happens in this universe. Welcome. Frankenstein, it's canon. All right. So you guys leave. You've dropped off your stuff and you start heading back to the museum. Rewinding a little bit there to our folks that went to the museum. So you approach. It's again a very fine. This one's actually all stone. It's not a brick building at all. This is one of the nicest looking buildings you've seen on campus. It's 1 story high, but it's a big 1 story. And on the front you see a sort of built-in carved stone sort of faux columns that go up and lead to I'm blanking on Greek architecture, but it looks like a Greek sort of a Parthenon kind of style where there's 2 big columns and the triangle lintel.
Mm-hmm.
And underneath is 2 double doors that lead inside of the library. Otherwise, you see there's very large glass windows on almost this entire wall that's facing you on the south face. And then it looks almost like a maintenance or access door all the way on the far west wall there that leads to offices or something. So go in the main door?
Main door.
Yeah.
Looking for somebody to give this note to so they can take us back to the
Fair enough. I like it.
stuff that's been dropped off. Like
Straightforward route.
I'm just waving it around, looking for somebody that works here behind a desk that's shushing people. I don't know.
So yeah, so you enter the door and you're immediately in. You're hit with sort of a wave of musty smell. This is the rare books collection. It has almost a whole building to itself, and it smells like. Well, you've all been in old libraries, I hope. It smells very much like that. The slight smell of decay, but it's in a good way. It smells like knowledge. And sitting right in front of you, by the door is a small desk, and a librarian, who greets you. Pulls off her glasses. Hello, welcome to the Rare Books collection. What are you looking for today?
Hello, we're guests of Professor Stanholm of the History Department. I hand her the note, and we'd like to see the shipments that were dropped off that belong to Professor Cromwell.
You're working with Cromwell, yes. How's he doing? We heard terrible things.
He's not doing great. We're here to see if we can shed some light on his current condition.
Fair enough. Please follow me. And she gets up from her desk and walks past a bunch of rows of books towards the to the east wall of the room that you guys are in. In there, you see there's just a whole bunch of very tall bookshelves with ladders on them, and a visual cacophony of the types of books. And all of them are old, ancient texts, maybe. of a myriad of different colors and binding methods. This is not a Barnes and Noble. You walk in here if you're looking for something rare. Even now and then you sort of catch a glimpse of what look like even like scrolls. Like this place is, they got the hookup. And as they walk through, you get to another door. And this is actually the museum here. Most of the things here were populated through Cromwell's exhibitions that he goes on. So if you get an opportunity, I recommend looking around. It's quite the collection. And opens a single door. It has some glass panes in it, but otherwise it's a pretty standard offer store. And you enter into a much smaller room. It's probably about 20 by 40. And it is just lined. The walls are all lined with sort of glass, almost trophy cases. And in the trophy cases, you see a bunch of different things. Some of them, the biggest one by far is there's a what looks like an Egyptian mummy and some canoptic jars surrounding it. And then there's also a whole bunch, some of them just look like they have pottery shards, or some of them even have, looks like a full pottery jar from ancient Greece. Some other idols and sort of religious items that you don't really recognize. If you were to spend some time digging them, you could get some stuff. But otherwise, you do recognize there's a large pile of, it looks like golden instruments, golden bars, golden equipment of some kind, and some more clay tablets and another glass jar. In the center is just a big table, probably about 6 feet across in a circle, and it's just surrounded by chairs. Nothing on the table. And as you walk through, she says, "Yes, this is this is the library's museum collection here. Again, all of it or most of it was actually brought back from Cromwell's work, and some of the history students even come in and will study there at that table. But if you follow me this way through the northern door here, we can get you to where the shipment came in."
Thank you.
Very prolific explorer, wasn't he? Yes.
He was. Yes, he covered a wide berth of various things, which I don't know if he's an expert on any of them, but it's to our benefit. Anyway, through this door, and this is a much more industrial style door. It's still wooden, but it actually slides on almost like a pocket door. It's on rails on the other side of the wall, and it opens up into, well, you've all seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's a warehouse where, from where you are, it's much smaller. It's not it's not the top man warehouse, but it is just stacks of crates going up 20, 30 feet. And as far as you can see, the back wall is about 50 feet away. And here we go. This is the loading dock, and I believe the crates that you're looking for came in last night. Yes.
Yes, several large trunks.
Yes, those are right around here. And by what looks like another set of industrial barn doors is all the 6 trucks you guys found. Well, I need to get back up front, but if you need anything at all, please let me know. And please be careful with this stuff. It is of great import to the university.
Of course, ma'am.
If you'll excuse me, I have one question for you.
Oh, yes. What can I do for you?
Has anyone else come to look at these since they were dropped off?
Oh, no. We have a night watchman. The local PD allows us to have a local. I believe it's a patrolman, but because of the value of the things here, we always have an armed guard overnight, just to make sure that this place stays safe.
Good, thank you.
It might be wise to lock these up with higher than usual security, just for the time being. And we don't want whatever happened to Professor Cromwell to happen to anyone else.
We'll keep it in mind.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll leave you to it, and closes the sliding doors behind her as she goes back into the museum.
You scare the poor woman, Caroline.
Yeah, people in this town think we're crazy. we don't even know the half of it yet.
Yeah.
I didn't want to tell her that Wilson shot somebody last night. But I didn't want those,
just
whoever
vague threats.
those people are. Yeah.
We killed a guy.
Yeah. I didn't think that would go over well for some reason. Okay,
so you are in a warehouse. Once you approach the actual trunks that you saw, you realize that it doesn't go as far. It's not nearly as full with the boxes and crates as you would expect. It looks like after about 20 feet to the east or to the west, you see it actually ends with the crates, and it's a whole bunch of metal sealed bookshelves. Presumably the rest of the rare books collection that isn't on the floor.
Mm.
So what do you want to do?
Crack open the trunks and take a look, I guess.
Yeah.
I will keep watch while the people who are good at looking at things do those things.
We will
Okay.
do the looking at the things. Yes.
We'll do the looking of the things. Should we look into getting those film canister, the film from the cameras developed? Do you think, Miss Evans?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then let's get back into the trunks and look for the. Let's see. I've got the rubbings that I've got are from those main clay tablets, right? The
Yes.
ones that I was looking at before, including whichever one possibly gave Miss Billings a seizure the night before.
Aneurysm, I believe, is the proper term, but yes.
Pardon me.
Aneurysm is a stroke.
Yeah, and then you had a seizure. It's great.
First
Anyway.
one, then the other.
Yeah.
Piles up.
Why not both?
You did roll 100. I don't know.
It's not my fault. But yeah, you find that one because that's the one that is marked with the yellow sign there that Gareth put onto it.
Right. Okay. Can we haul it into the room with the big table so we can get him out and get a better look at him?
Sure, if that's what you want to do, you can take them into the museum.
I mean, is there any? I mean, like, you know, that private collection room or whatever. It looked like it was a separate room, right? That
Yeah, it's
people come in.
it's not it's not private, but it is. There's the main library, and then there's a door that leads you into this room.
I'd
but it's
rather
just a-
keep the artifacts here where we can be private.
Fair enough. Is there like any tables or surfaces that we can work
Yeah, there's
on
a couple.
back here?
There's a couple
Okay.
workshop like workbenches and stuff.
That'll
That'll work.
They're harsher than you would than you would typically want to do antiquities on, but heck the rules. Let's do this.
We got a bunch of straw and stuff we can put down for bedding. It's
Yeah, you can make that happen.
I think maybe I'd want to see if there's actually any differences or anything on these tablets that didn't translate to any of the rubbings that I'm seeing.
Okay. Well, I'm going to
Just
need
Pull
you,
one out first.
as you start pulling out the etchings. I need you to make a sanity check, but with a bonus die. For those of you who are unfamiliar, bonus die, you add an extra the extra D10 side of the D20s or the D100s, and then you take the better result. It's like rolling for it with advantage.
Well, good thing I did, because that was a 98 and a 68. So the
Jeez.
68 passes.
Excellent. And you got to roll with bonus because you've been digging on these before.
I've already looked at them before, or at least
Yeah.
a version of them.
Exactly. You looked at the version of them that was the paper, so this isn't quite as alien to you. So yeah, you get them laid out, and as you're looking at them, not really. All of the physical describable details did get translated onto the actual rubbings. What didn't, though, is as you look at the actual, spend some more time looking at the art itself, it almost looks like it's moving. Like if you stare at it, if you just look at it, your eyes start to water a little bit. You don't like looking at that very particular corner that has the art on it in the upper right hand corner of each of these. But they're otherwise they're exactly what you look like. That effect did not translate to the rubbings. The back of them
Good.
is clear.
Makes
There's
my
no
eyes twitch.
extra. Yeah, there's no extra information on the back. No extra rubbings or anything that you guys need to take a look at.
Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, they're about the
Sure.
same size.
Probably too many minutes of that, of suffering through that. I'll just conclude that I don't need to look at the tablets, that the paper copies are good enough. I'll just pack that back into the trunks if there's no objections.
So I went for the film canisters and I tucked them away so we could get them developed.
Okay. Done.
And is there any... I'm a little chary about going into these trunks now because of what happened yesterday, but is there anything besides the trunks that is there that I could like dig into? Like,
I mean, there's a whole bunch of crates, but the only thing that you guys shipped were the 6 trunks.
okay. I guess whatever trunks Dr. Rose didn't go into, I flip one of the ones open and start trying to dig through it tentatively to see if there's anything I find that looks useful.
You
or
find a lot
interesting.
of broken pottery, clay shards, rubbings of other other bits and pieces of the wall. Basically, what you would expect for a antiquarian dig. If they went on an archaeological expedition, these are the kinds of things you would expect to bring back. Nothing is jumping out at you as out of ordinary. These are all the trunks that you guys looked through before that were these aren't really important trunks. These are all, if
Okay.
you're archaeologists, these are cool, but you're not, so they aren't.
Okay, fair.
Just to keep things moving along.
Yeah.
And about right now, the two of you have looked at those. You started putting the tablets back in. Our friends from the biology department show back up. You meet you guys at the librarian shows them back through the door, and goes back to her spot.
Everything went okay?
Nobody had a seizure, if that's what you're asking.
She's asking them.
Oh,
I was
sorry.
here with you.
Sorry. I got flipped around. Sorry.
Tall Russian woman is easy to miss, I guess.
Yeah, you hide in the boxes.
When you
Well,
stop
Well, you don't
talking,
have your
just
rifle with
disappear.
you today,
It's-
or your shotgun, or whatever it was. So
It's a
you're not
carbine.
nearly as conspicuous. Yeah.
And no, I did. Yeah, I keep it in the car. Unless I think I'm gonna have to use it.
Mm.
Okay. So we have our new friends from we have our friends from biology department are now joining you guys, starting to pack the crates back up, or the steamer trunks back up.
We'll definitely tell Dr. Watson about the effect of looking at the tablets. Like that something I can't quantify was occurring whilst trying to read these tablets and compare it to the paper.
If you remember the solar eclipse a few years ago, imagine looking at it when it wasn't 100% full and it was very windy directly in your eyes. Like it was that kind of like, this is uncomfortable and I don't like this. That kind of effect was going on.
Yeah, and I described the physical symptoms that I was feeling, and I'm not sure if this was psychosomatic, because somewhere in the back of my mind I knew Professor Cromwell was ailing from something related to this, but it was definitely an uncomfortable experience. But it doesn't translate to looking at the paper rubbings. Yeah, I tell Dr. Watson about all of that, just so she's aware, since she's a neurologist. And
so when I come in, I'll take you've got all the stuff laid out on the bench, right?
the rubbings.
They're in the
yeah.
process of putting it back. Yeah.
Putting it back, okay. I'll just take a look at the tablets. I don't want to interact with them or anything like that. But does
Have you looked at the tablets before?
I was not in the room when they did it before,
Roll a sanity check, please.
right?
You got this. I believe in you.
Oh yeah, it's a 16. So
16.
finally
Hey!
past one. So-
Hey, brilliant. We love it.
Safe
yeah.
for now. Safer.
So what you do notice is, you don't start chewing on your upper lip or, wetting yourself in terror or anything like that.
Mhm.
But you do notice, looking at that symbol in the corner is always pretty uncomfortable. But throughout the entire tablet, everywhere where there is the yellow sign there jumps out to you as if it were highlighted. Like you can point those out no problem at all.
This tablet is covered in that symbol. Dr. Rose, you see those, right?
Yeah, see it everywhere.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
like
looking at the paper copies, yes, I do. It jumps. I've noted it in several places. Yes.
so that symbol is the same thing we found on that boy that tried to stab me the other last night. So this has something to do with what's going on.
But it's not
Yeah.
part of that Incan alphabet that I've been deciphering from Cromwell's journal, right? This
Absolutely
is
not. It's
separate, but
yeah, it's
still appearing alongside the language.
it would be like, imagine you're reading a book, and periodically there is like a wingdings letter just dropped in there. In the text, it's in line, it's just there, but it doesn't seem to convey any translatable meaning.
Yeah,
It's not punctuation either.
I would share that. Like, from what I've translated so far, the symbol is not part of the alphabet of the language of the people. It is a completely unrelated symbol as far as communication goes. I have not yet figured out what the purpose of it is.
This symbol's got to be at the heart of what we're dealing with. Look, I think it's time for us to go talk to the professor. I think we need to get his perspective, if at all possible, on what happened and what exactly we're dealing with.
Hold on. You think a weird letter has been driving him mad?
That it has something to do with it.
I just think that I'm seeing that symbol all over the place, and that boy that tried to stab me last night was wearing this pin, had that symbol on it, and so I don't know what's going on, but
it is an unusual set of circumstances.
Yeah. And whoever that boy was, he wanted this stuff here. So it can't be a coincidence. The only one we haven't talked to is the professor.
Can I tell from the professor's journals at all if any of the tablets he had fully translated or was focused on or was obsessed with even?
Yeah, there were a couple that he was that were particularly gripping to him. It was the one that was the Ballad of Carcosa and Petition of the Unnameable were the two that he was obsessing over, but he did not write down the actual translations of them. Just madman scribblings that keep referencing either of those two tablets.
Okay. If he's had some sort of psychological break that related to what he's been reading in this, which seems unusual, I don't know, like his belief is a very important, very gripping emotion. If we talk to him, you need to understand that whatever is affecting him, he believes is reality, whether we think it is or not. So just be aware of that. Don't try and just snap him out of it or tell him that he's wrong. He's something to be said with kind of, with frankly manipulating his emotions in his current mental state.
Go ahead and give me a psychology roll there, which you should have no problems with.
Hard success.
Hard success. Perfect. Everybody else gets that, understands what he is saying there. He's, it's coming up with the don't grab him by the lapels and shake him and say, snap out of it, old man. He was very eloquent and clear on his points and pointed out, hey, this could do more damage than good if we try, if we approach it the wrong way. We got to be super gentle about this, and you all understand that.
Okay.
I'm looking at you, Lana.
I mean, I sounded like
Lana
a professional.
Understands more about what goes wrong with the head than you may think.
I know, I get it. But yes, so you all get that point. He sounds like it's just one of his weird, solid points of lucidity. He was like, yeah, no, this is very important too. It's like, oh shit, we gotta listen to this madman for a second. Okay, yeah, we got it.
Listen to this madman.
Word quack didn't even come to mind in that moment. Just
it's like, why doesn't anybody else listen to this guy?
He's earned a little street cred with the group.
Exactly. So you all finished putting away the tablets. You've secured the film that you want to get developed. What now?
Let's go see the professor, I guess.
Yeah.
We want to try and get the film dropped off with somebody. Maybe go back.
Oh yeah, maybe drop off the film
Yeah.
first.
Ask maybe Professor Stanholm if they have a lab or if there's something somewhere on campus that can do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, as you guys are leaving, you walk past the librarian is reading a copy of the university's newspaper, and it has some pictures printed on it.
I
Okay.
would not.
They have a
I would
literary.
not care.
You can go there. You can go there, and they have a photo lab.
Great.
Oh.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Sorry, no, that was too subtle. No, I'm finding the lines.
Newspaper. You're saying it's the college's newspaper.
Yes, it's the university's newspaper.
University's newspaper. Got it. Aha. There we go.
I
Okay.
don't think photography was a major in 1920.
Like, I don't know. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's.
So if that's where you guys want to go, you can do that.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, so you find a place. You find the with a little bit of work, you find the newspaper's photo lab, and we will develop this for you. It's on university business, so done. I'm resolved.
How long would it take? Yeah.
Come back at the end of the night. If we're closed, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Into the Hudson Roadster.
We need to have like a name for this car.
The Hudson Roadster.
Fantastic.
No, like the Wilson Mobile.
I call it Tom Hanks.
Tom
I was gonna
Hanks.
say cue the Batman transition.
Reed. I've been trying to convince him that we need to put like one of those like spitting newspaper transitions in.
I like those.
No effect yet. So you guys, you get into the car, and it takes you about another half hour to get to the sanitarium itself.
Bristol County Sanitarium.
Yeah, Bristol County Sanitarium. That's right. I've read a map.
I wrote that down.
And you all get to Bristol County Sanitarium, and you are met by up front is just a visitor's secretary desk, and behind it is what looks like a nurse and an orderly. And the nurse asks you, "Yes, who are you visiting today?"
I'm going to make myself scarce.
Yeah. We are here to visit Professor Cromwell.
Oh, are you all family?
We are associated with the family, yes. We have been asked by his sister to look into his condition and what may have caused it.
Dr.
Okay.
Watson will probably also want to conduct some tests.
Tests.
Not necessarily like I don't know, doctor. I don't know exactly what you do medically, but I just assumed since you are a neurosurgeon.
Well, I was more interested in speaking with the doctor assigned to Professor.
That sounds like a great idea. If you excuse me one moment, I'll go grab Dr. Peterson.
Thank you.
Please, just make yourself comfortable. There's nowhere to make yourself comfortable, but you're in just a sterile hallway with a desk that is on the other side of a small wall.
Very little furniture, no belts or shoelaces inside.
Yeah.
Got it.
So the nurse, she runs off, and a couple minutes later, about a 50-year-old man comes in. He's wearing, he looks like Sigmund Freud. Just go ahead and cut to the chase there. He looks like a standard early, turn of the century psychiatrist. He's wearing a white lab coat. He's bald, and he comes up to you and he's like, "Yes, I am Dr. Thomas Peterson. I understand that you all are looking to meet with Professor Gregory Cromwell, yes?"
Some of us are, yes. I'm more interested in speaking with you regarding his psychosis.
Well, it is certainly an interesting case, but please, come with me. We'll go to my office, discuss this, and then we can introduce you to the professor.
Thank you very much.
And so, Corey, you said you're making yourself scarce. You just waiting in the car, or you like lurking around the grounds?
No, I'm just trying not to be at the front of the group. I'm just like
Gotcha.
standing behind like Detective Wilson most of the time, trying not to make eye contact
And the
with
old cruiser.
Dr. Peterson or
You're
anybody
trying
else
to
that
play
works here.
incognito and make sure no one notices that the quack is in the house.
I don't want to stand out until we're already like, and all right, you can go speak with him now. I'm like, okay, thank you. And just try and duck in really quick.
So as he's walking down the way towards his office, he's talking. He's like, "Yes, so Cromwell's case has been interesting. He's not had any breakthroughs, but he also hasn't truly changed at all. He has been fixated on some things from his trip. We're not sure what, and he's asked for some chalk, which we provided just to try and give him an outlet. And he has, his cell is all, he graffitied it. It is covered with all sorts of symbols and writings. It doesn't appear to be a threat to himself at the moment, though, so we're leaving them there. Here it is, and opens up his office door. Please, after you. And gestures for you all to get in. So, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. You wanted to speak to me about his psychosis? And he looks to you, Dr. Watson.
Yes, I'm Dr. Jean Watson. I'm a neurosurgeon over in New York.
Yes. I believe that his sister was asking about alternative and second opinions. Yes.
Yeah.
What may I do for you?
I'm wondering if you've seen a case like his at all here in the sanitarium, and specifically what I'll say symptoms he's been having.
Well, the symptoms is he's incoherent, which is, between you and I, not a rare thing here. But he's here. But we've also had the fixations that he has they seem to be on on a couple of different things. Something which he identifies as the sign of yellow. A couple of brothers he seems to be constantly worrying about, and somebody that he refers to exclusively as the Yellow King. None of these mean anything to me, but these are pretty standard psychosis. As by themselves, the fixations are not important, but the fact that he is fixating on these and he is incoherent is a fairly common trait of our guests here.
And you have no other guests speaking about this particular thing?
Not that I'm aware of, no. It's whatever it is does not appear to be a mass hysteria. As I understand it, and I'd have to give me a moment to check my notes on this. And he pulls up his notebook and flips to the very beginning. Yes, it was his assistant and his sisters that brought him in, or that referenced him to be coming in. And his assistant was traveling with him and did not appear to be exhibiting any symptoms either. I have not spoken to the assistant recently, so if he has fallen into the psychosis, that could change our diagnosis at the moment. But it's my understanding that if I had to assume a cause, I would believe that he is certainly just, for lack of a better term, he has snapped. The pressure of his jet-setting lifestyle, of frequent travel, and jet-setting's not a thing in this time, of his traveling time, on just his work, and the excitement of the voyage, I believe, was just enough to make him lose his mind, which is unfortunate. But we're hoping that we can get him back with some calm and coherency.
Has his behavior been violent at all?
Yes, it has. One of his fixations on the drawings that he has in his cell, if we attempt to clean them or move him out of that cell to go to a different area, he does not want to leave and will do whatever he can to keep himself there and keep others from erasing the drawings. And otherwise, it's not a problem. So we've, for the time being, left him there to see what happens as we observe. I'm sorry, who are you?
Hello, I'm Dr. Matthew Rose.
Oh, I'm unfamiliar, but if you're with him, then okay. So what else can I speak to you about before we go into actually introducing with the professor? And all of us cannot meet with him. I'll have to do one or two of you. We don't want to overcrowd or overstimulate the man.
I will not need to speak to him.
Mr. Wilson, do you have that symbol that we found earlier?
I do, and I'll pull out my handkerchief and show him the pen.
You guys are just trying to make all my NPCs go insane. Thank you.
This is our subtle plan. If they go first, the old ones will be satisfied.
I mean,
Yeah.
haven't they like seen it in his room or something? Figure.
Yeah, that's why I'm throwing extra dice. So where did you find this? This is most interesting.
It's in the course of our investigation we came across this.
Any idea what it means?
in the course of getting stabbed.
It is quite all over his cell.
Quite all over is how I would describe this. We have seen it quite a few places. This was the only one that is portable. I guess we have a couple of portable versions of it, but we have seen it on tablets and in writings and in various other places. It seems to be associated with the trip he took to Peru.
That would make sense. And do you know what it means? What the symbology is here for?
Not as of yet, but I do believe that it may be the source or focus of his obsession.
Or at least related to it?
He is certainly
Related.
He certainly is a thing fixated upon his mind. But Dr. Watson, is there anything else we can talk about here on the psychosis physical side of things before we introduce you all to Professor Cromwell?
Yeah, if you have any paperwork concerning his case, I'd like to read through it if you don't mind.
Well, patient files are strictly confidential, of course. But seeing as you have family consent, you are working with Lucy. We will. I'll make a call and see if we can get the paperwork delivered to you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, let us go and speak with the gentleman. Hopefully, Gregory is doing better today. And he gets up and leads you all out of his office. And as you're walking down the hallway, you get into the residence wing, and it is bedlam. You hear the sounds of turn of the century psychology happening, people screaming and just muttering behind doors, and just it's not a good time to be in there. Very clearly the weight of this place is bearing down on you. You know what is happening behind those doors. There's mad people being mad. So you eventually get to a door and you're like, in here. I can only take 2 of you in. Any more than that, and we risk overstimulating him or crowding the area. So who is going to be speaking with Professor Cromwell?
Dr. Watson, Dr. Rose, you two seem the obvious choices.
That would make sense. I have to ask the both of you to stay out here. And if either of you are wearing or carrying any things that could be used as a weapon, he's not particularly aggressive. But before we visit, we do have to make sure that anything has been removed. So he goes over a list of items, belts, shoelaces, that kind of thing. Guns, if you have them, knives, anything that's weapon or could be used as a weapon, and asks you to place them in there's a basket by the door.
Jean's just going to drop her whole purse in there. It's got everything.
Convenient.
Good move. Nice and discreet.
All right. Well, if you all are ready, let us go. And he pulls a key out of his pocket, unlocks the door, and you all enter into the room. It's pretty well lit. It's about a 15 by 15 square. It's a fairly sizable place. With a variety of, it's basically covered with dark wood paneling and a bare concrete floor. In the corner is a mat that is clearly the professor's bed. And over all of the floor and the walls is more of what you saw in his house. More of the drawings with lines connected and random words and that symbol everywhere. The professor himself is sitting in a corner, drawing on, with the chalk again, drawing again another version of the symbol up, with lines coming to it and from it. And so the doctor says to him, Gregory, we have 2 guests for you. Please come and speak. And he steps away. And Cromwell doesn't even bat an eye, doesn't stop or change anything. He's still sitting there, and he's muttering something. Both of you give me a listen check, because it's under his voice.
Not a good listener.
It's a 9.
A 9. All right. So you hear him muttering, strange is the night where the black stars rise and the strange moons circle through the sky. Stranger still is lost Carcosa. And he just, you hear variations on that theme of sort of a poem that keeps ending in Carcosa. Sometimes he's talking about Aldebaran and the full moon. But it all keeps coming back to Carcosa.
I'll follow your lead on this, Dr. Rose. I'm just here to observe.
Okay, and I will, I'll go crouch down next to him slowly.
Okay. And he looks at you and, just sort of eyes you up and then gets back to what he's doing.
Professor, no, it's important, I understand. Look at what he's doing. Is any of the scribbling looking familiar compared to what I've seen so far on the tablets, the rubbings, anything like that?
Yeah, it looks like it might be the same text. You're not fluent in the language, but yes, it looks like it is certainly coming. It's being drawn from the tablets. And then you hear him muttering again, the sign is everywhere. It's always been here. We just didn't see it. And keeps working.
Well, signs have power, don't they, Professor?
But yes, the power and Aldebaran will rise, and soon the hour of reckoning will be at hand with the full moon in the sky.
Can you tell me what the sign means?
And he stops what he's doing. He stares into your eyes, and he's kind of jaundiced, and the whites of his eyes are mustard yellow. It's not a great time to be 2 feet away from him, and just looking at you coherently, he says, when his brother awakens, the unspeakable will kill him. I need you to make a sanity check as things start connecting.
Red yarn's all coming together.
What's your luck looking like?
You know what? My luck's in good shape. So I'm going to spend some luck points, and I'm going to spend about 8 luck points to make that a success.
Okay. So there's no negative side effects here, which is good. But I need you to also make a knowledge, or was it knowledge check? Is that the one I'm looking for here? Where is it?
General intelligence?
An intelligence check. There we go. And this is one that you want to fail.
Oop, I passed it.
Okay, so as he's talking about, he's mentioning, staring you in the eyes, and he's talking about, the brother awakening and the unspeakable will kill him, and the yellow sign and Aldebaran and the full moon. All of this kind of culminates together to where you're realizing that something else is something is actually talking about. You recognize Aldebaran as a star in Tauros. some of the words that you saw in the text start flashing back and forth in your brain after you've read the tablets, and you mutter the word Haster. Just you don't know what it is, but it happens, and you just all signs are pointing towards Haster and the Yellow King. It makes sense looking at his mad scribblings that there's something happening here, and it has to do with Haster. And he staring at you.
Okay. Haster.
And then goes back to work.
So that was rush, basically.
Yeah, you just had a moments of neurons firing and connecting, and you just don't know what's happening there.
Okay, I recognize the mention of the unspeakable from one of the titles of the tablets.
Yes.
It said silence the unspeakable.
You think the
God.
unspeakable is Haster.
And who would kill the brother when he awakens?
Yes.
That's the unspeakable. Unspeakable is Haster. As
Dr. Watson, you are starting to recognize you saw this exchange between the two of them, and Dr. Rose is starting to just mutter to himself about Haster the unspeakable. The unspeakable is Haster. He's going to kill the brother, and something's happening.
She's going to really slowly put her pen in her other hand and just nudge Dr. Rose with her dominant hand.
Oh yes, I'm okay. I'm okay. I think I understand some of the things that he's saying. I need a few more questions.
You understand? Okay, sure. We'll talk about it later.
Gregory, Dr. Cromwell. Who is the brother?
And just muttering again, his herald and servants stride the stars and walk amongst us.
Can Haster be silenced?
And at that point, he grabs you, and he just hands on shoulders. He's not shaking or being violent, but it's a hey, we need to talk about this. And he says the unspeakable can be silenced. Check it. It must be stopped. And just shoves you and starts swiping at the various, just rubbing on the chalk that he has everywhere. Something's connected there. But I'm going to need you, before we get too far into this, just go ahead and make a dexterity check to make sure that you stay on your feet here after he pushed you. Come on, you got this.
I did not. I definitely fell over.
Okay, so you fall over and you're on the ground. And with him freaking out like that, the doctor bangs on the doors. Orderlies, get in here. And
Dr. Peterson, I'm okay, and I'll just get up and brush myself off. And is Cromwell still freaking out a little bit?
Yeah, he's freaking out. He's screaming about Aldebaran rising and the full moon coming. That his servants walk amongst us, and that the sign is everywhere, and just these ideas are just coming on a stream of consciousness. But that's the thing. You hear about flaps of the tattered king. The Heidi's is singing. Just madness is pouring out of his mouth, but he's trying to do something and get rid of the chalk. Doesn't seem to be. Well, he's not all there.
So he's trying to erase all this stuff now himself.
He is. Yes, he's trying to get rid of it. You've made a breakthrough, Doctor. Congratulations.
Is that what you call it?
See, I think this is an important first step, Dr. Peterson. He's starting to
Get out!
That was the Professor Cromwell.
Yeah, that was that was Dr. Peterson telling him to get out.
Oh, okay.
You can tell because he has a German accent, and
the Germans.
the Germans, yes, they're the best psychologists. Gets out now. And he's sitting there. The orderlies are trying to grab him, and there's a grapple going on, and he's just Professor Cromwell, calm down, what's happening? And you guys leave as that is happening. He's trying to calm him down.
See, his mistake is he thinks calm means better. Calm does not always mean better. Sometimes people need to work through things.
And so you're in the hallway now.
Yeah.
It always calms me down.
I'm talking to
at me.
I'm talking to my colleagues, telling them that. I'm not trying to talk to Peterson anymore. I'm already.
Right, but what in the world was that about? You understand what he's talking about here? Are you sure you don't need certain psychosis?
I'm not certain I understand. Do you believe psychosis is contagious, Dr. Watson?
No, but I believe it can be rectified.
As do I. Not always through conventional means, but yes, I do. Yes, and I think Dr. Cromwell and his, you may consider ravings, but has given me a clue.
Or to share, Doctor?
I don't know. You gonna leave me here if I do?
We are still trying to figure out what drove him mad, yes?
Yes, and
I assume so.
I think you'll agree that some very strange things have happened to us since we've taken this case. Some stranger than others, some two more than others.
Yes.
But I think there is a clue, and one of the clay tablets that the good professor had not yet focused on wholly, that I would like to take a better look at. Say, Miss Billings, do you happen to know when the next full moon is?
When is the next full moon, Mac?
2 days.
It is in 2 days. Why do you ask?
Professor Cromwell mentioned that a couple of times, that something very bad was going to happen on the next full moon.
And we believe the crazy person when he says things. Why?
Why would we go talk to him if we weren't going to believe him?
To figure out what he was saying, not necessarily believe what he was saying.
That's one of the things he was saying.
Well, then I suppose we should warn them to restrain him extra hard on 2 days from now?
The sign was everywhere. Mr. Wilson, is the sign everywhere?
And I just look around. Do I see it anywhere in the hallway?
Not in the hallway, no.
Okay.
But as you've been traveling and seeing various signs and art and the street signs and stuff, it does populate itself in places. So it there's none here. There's almost no writing here, but everywhere there is writing, the pattern of the writing creates the sign, or the meaning of the writing creates the sign. The sign is everywhere. You just can't see it.
And I'll just kind of relay that I do believe it has something to do with the writing, because in areas like this where everything is clean, I do not see it, but when there are words, I see it quite frequently. So it's not everywhere, but it is all over.
So to be clear, Dr. Rose, you believe that finding the cause of this psychosis will cure him as opposed to make us go crazy as well?
That depends.
It's not what we want to hear.
It depends upon, because clearly whatever he's found out, whatever knowledge he has now, is doing something, be it parasite or not. Because those mutterings, the thing that you were just doing in there, that gives me cause for concern.
What did he do in there that gave you cause for concern?
You never talked to yourself before, Dr. Watson? When trying to work out a problem?
Certainly, yes, but not to that degree. Not to the degree where you guys almost matched in tone. That was frightening.
Just trying to make him feel more comfortable. And I think we had some sort of small breakthrough, if anything. Before, Dr. Peterson had said that you couldn't touch his own chalk scribblings, or he would get violent and do something to try and stop you. And now he's trying to get rid of them himself. I think we're making some sort of breakthrough. He's working his way back to us.
And look,
he still needs a little help.
We've been at this for the better part of 2 days at this point, and this is the first real inkling of anything that makes any semblance of any sense so far. So if this is the road that this has taken us down, then I suggest that we follow where the clues are leading us.
This is sensible to you because I have no idea what's supposed to be sensible here.
Well, we are dealing with a crazy person. I'm not sure it's supposed to be sensible in the first place.
But that is what Mr. Wilson has said, that something here makes sense. I just do not see it.
Well,
We had not spoken to Mr. Cromwell before we got here, correct? And yet, we've seen and heard things that he himself is also saying.
nothing about this makes sense in the traditional sense of the word, but this is the first time that I feel we are actually making progress. And my history of investigation tells me that what you follow the clues where they take you, even if you don't necessarily know or understand where that is.
Just because we don't see the logic in it doesn't mean there isn't logic there. We just haven't found it yet.
Okay, so one mystery on the way to being solved. Now, what about these people after? These instruments, these implements, whatever antiquities you want to call it.
Right
Miss
now,
Billings.
while you're saying that, Professor Peterson or Dr. Peterson walks out of the door. He kind of interrupts you there. He's like, well, I do apologize for that behavior there. It's something of unusual behavior. I hope you got something useful out of that, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to leave now. We have to do some work now and administer some medication, but if you all wish to see him again, please wait a couple days and just get things to calm down, please.
What medications are you giving him?
Well, we are giving him, and he lists a couple standard antipsychotic medicines, because I haven't done that homework. And they tend to work very well. With this, we're probably going to be working on perhaps a mild sedative to try and calm him down, because now my elderly has a broken nose. But this should not be too problematic. I'm not sure what you said to him, but did he say anything meaningful to you that we can be working with?
Peterson, before you had said he got very violent when anyone tried to remove any of his chalk scratchings, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Now he himself is trying to remove them. I know you may not respect my opinion or take it, but I think you should let him. Maybe he's working through it in his own way.
All right, we will see what we can do. Take it into consideration. But anyway, I must ask you, visiting hours are nearly over, so if you do not mind, and gestures towards the door.
I'm sorry, you agreed that we could speak regarding the paperwork, all of his diagnostics, I would say.
Yes. I will find them for you. Unfortunately, we don't have. We had them filed away for the last week, so we only have a couple days left at the moment. We do standard routine filing every week. It will take us a few hours to find the information you're looking for, but we can probably get it to you in the morning if that works for you. I'll give you my notes for the last couple sessions if that is useful to you.
Please, that would be great.
All right. Well,
can I, I guess, insight check him on that, considering how new the doctor's case is? That just to have it filed away and not at the ready is a little suspicious to me.
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and do a check of insight's not a thing in this one.
I'm so used to D&D, I can't.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Go with a psychology or actually no. Go with a education check. Because that should work. You're an educated person of science.
That is a 41.
41. It is a little unusual to be filing away so frequently, but it's not horribly unusual that there is periodic files that get put away. This hospital appears to just have a faster turnaround than most of them. It's not like they burn them; they just move them to secondary filing.
All right. Yes, whatever you have that's at the ready would be, and most recent would be.
Yes. I only have the last 3 days or so. Certainly. And one moment, let me make some copies. I think you do those. Ditto machines, I think, existed in the 20s. So yes, let me make some notes for you. Please, this way, and leads you to his office. He goes inside and comes out with a minute later with some typed notes, and hands them over to you.
Thank you very much. We'll be on our way.
Oh, please do. And I look forward to working with you again. We'll let you know if we'll let Lucy know if anything particularly interesting happens or any more breakthroughs with her brother. Thank you. Please.
Thank you.
Have a good day. And goes back in his office to do some work.
We sneak back in. No, just kidding.
Yeah, no, we're all right.
All right. So where to now, guys? You're outside of the sanitarium.
What time is it?
It's getting close to dinner time. It's been most of a day with all of the research and talking to crazy people you guys have done. So we're looking at about 5 o'clock. So you got to by the time you get back into town, sunlight's probably going to be down.
It's probably
time to pick up the photos.
I was thinking that, but we might be too late to do it today. We can try, certainly.
Yeah, certainly. You can go give that a go. So yeah, you get to the photo lab, and as you guys get there, there's actually somebody just locking up and leaving. And it's like, oh, hey, I didn't think you guys were coming back today. We got them done. You're looking for them now?
We'd be grateful if you don't mind.
Right. Well, one moment. You got some interesting stuff in here of pictures of rocks and I don't know, temples and stuff. Give me a second. He goes inside, comes back with the raw film. Like, all right, there you go, and has an album, effectively, or not an album, but like a card deck box of just a whole bunch of photos, and it's sealed or it's closed. And like, all right, here you go. Have a good evening. Bye. Locks up the keys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, shall we take these back to?
Get some food to go on the way to my office.
Yes.
Or
That's
just a suggestion. We can see if Lucy will be willing to have some dinner guests. Maybe give her a check-in. Talk to her.
give her a
That is a good
check-in,
idea.
but 5 dinner guests? That seems like asking a bit much of her on short notice.
Well, if we show up, she may decide to invite us to dinner herself.
A great
be
suggestion,
fair-
Dr. Watson.
To be fair, Mr. Wilson did have his life on the line, and we're here to help her brother, so we should probably know more about it.
Oh, talking to her is fine. I'm just saying expecting her to feed us might be excessive.
She seems to live a life in excess. It doesn't seem far out of her reach.
Not
she's
money.
Let's go
Cooking
talk to her.
for 5 on 10 minutes notice is, yeah. But let's go talk to her. Yes, I agree with that part.
Okay. So you guys take the trip back town. It takes better part of an hour now that it's getting dark and it's 1920s. But you do pull up to Lucy's place and knock on the door. After 10 seconds or so, she approaches the door and she opens. Oh, I was not expecting to see you so soon. But please come in. What have you? Please come in. And gets out of the way and opens the door for you.
Well, thank you much, ma'am. We wanted to come give you a quick update on our findings so far.
Oh yes, how is he?
Dr. Rose or Dr. Watson can give you an update on his condition. Haven't just met with him, but We just wanted to make sure you were appraised of everything that we've found so far.
All right. Well, please, in here, and points to the parlor where you guys initially met. So, what all have you? What have you found?
Well, I think it is probably most appropriate for me to start off by telling you we had a bit of an incident last night. We were accosted by a young man who attacked me with a knife, and I had to shoot him.
Oh my! Are you okay?
Yes, I am fine. He is not. But just in case, the police are aware that we are here working with you. So just in case you hear from them, I just wanted you to know.
Okay. We'll. I will keep that in mind if the police show up. What else have you all found? What do you know? What caused the insanity?
You're mute.
In my opinion, he's obsessed over some of the readings he acquired while in Peru.
Well, that's nothing. He obsesses over his readings all the time.
To an unhealthy degree. And while I think I have some clues as to why he's obsessed to such a degree, it's some sort of compulsion. I'm not sure I could explain it very well to you, ma'am, myself. But I think I have some clues as to where this is coming from, and I'm hopeful that his condition is actually reversible.
Oh, that is very good news. Excellent. Thank you so much. What do you need from me? What can I do to help?
We need you to be careful.
Oh, well,
The man that Mr. Wilson spoke of, he was looking for your brother's things.
Oh my.
I do not know if he was alone.
Well, that is okay. I will do what I can.
You don't have any of his things here, do you? Just to check.
No, I have some chests of clothes and I believe a few of his random possessions, but
nothing from this trip.
Oh my goodness! No. He's no. I saw him from the ship to his house, and then they took him away from his home. I haven't taken any of his stuff. What do you think that they're after? Are they like grave robbers or what's black market?
They seem to be connected in some way to what he found on this trip, and I'll pull the button out or the pin. We keep running into this symbol here. Have you seen it at any point, ma'am?
Drive the NPC is crazy.
Poor old woman.
I'm just staying consistent, so.
She didn't lose it, did she?
No, she got a 36. She aced it.
We got some good NPCs here.
Wait, they can roll, we can't.
Well, everybody's just like, oh yeah, no, I haven't seen it. Yeah.
The trick there is I'm rolling themed dice.
There you go, yeah.
No, I've never seen that symbol before in my life.
Well, if you do see anything associated with it, if you would let us know. It does seem to be connected to your brother in some way. We don't know exactly how yet, but
okay, certainly I will keep an eye out for it. Anything else?
Are you the only person? Are we the only people you called regarding your brother?
I didn't call you directly. I connected through you. I connected to you through your hospital, and I believe. But yes, I have no other pending leads out there for someone to come and help. You all are more than I could possibly have asked for this task. Why?
Well, as far as I'm aware of, nobody knew we were going to that dock, and yet that man was there ready for us. Either he was on his way to the dock and something happened in that car, or
he knew we were there.
He knew we were there.
Oh. Well, please be careful. Don't get yourselves hurt.
I just want to make sure we're the only ones that know what's going on here, besides perhaps
the
university. And
the university should know, the hospital should know, and the town's not huge. People know who Gregory was, so they know that he's They know about his condition, but I don't believe. I know some people probably know that I'm looking for help to solve the problem. I didn't realize I should be keeping this a secret.
That's all right. We weren't aware either.
Well, I do hope that it hasn't put you all out in any manner.
Not yet.
I will stay quiet about it. That's my apologies if that was any problems.
No, it's no fault of yours. It's just new circumstance. We just want to make sure all of our bases are covered.
Do you live alone in this house?
I do, yes.
Yes, I am more worried about you than for us.
Oh, I can't imagine anything would happen here. I'm a
No,
respected
you
member of the
can't,
community.
because you live in a small town. You are convinced it is safe, and everybody knows everybody. Yeah.
Yes, but
Be careful.
I will be careful.
Don't stop saying you cannot imagine. Just try to imagine once, maybe.
I don't suppose you have any relatives you might be able to stay with in town until this is over?
No, there's no relatives in town. No, nearest person's in Boston. That's
Okay. I just thought it was worth considering the possibility of
No,
maybe
I-
staying with a friend or a relative until this was over. Safety in numbers.
I'll see what I can see what I can do. You think it's that big of a deal?
Somebody did attack Mr. Wilson with a knife. I think precautions are a sensible thing to take right now.
Okay.
Better not to be wrong.
I will see what I can do. Okay, thank you. And is there anything else I should know about?
We have some leads we're pursuing. We're
No need to
hopeful
give her the
that
burden
they
of
might
knowledge.
Yeah.
give us some a way to go forward. Let's say.
Okay. Well, good luck there. I'll see what I can do on this side. Please let me know if you need anything else. I need to think about what I should do here. Thank you. Thank you for all of your help.
We may ask you to phone the sanitarium later, just to make sure we can get in to see your brother again, if possible.
Oh, you saw him. Excellent.
We did. I spoke with him for a few minutes. I believe we may have had some sort of breakthrough as well.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Didn't truly understand everything he was saying. I'm sure you've heard your brother. I know you heard your brother kind of rambling.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
But I think we had some sort of small breakthrough. Dr. Peterson may not agree exactly, but I mean, this is why you called me for a second opinion, correct?
Yes, it is. And well, that's wonderful. I'll do whatever I can to get you back in there if you're having breakthroughs. That sounds very good.
I would say I'm hopeful. Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's all I could ask for. Thank you. May I do anything else for you all?
If the sanitarium calls, just make sure that Dr. Watson, I know you wanted to look at Professor Cromwell's records.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'll keep an ear out for that. They have my number, so if they're looking for you, I'll let you know. You're still at the boarding house?
We're
Actually,
actually not.
Oh.
The ladies are staying with me in above my shop in my apartment.
Oh. Okay.
we figured it would be safer to stay all together.
Oh. All right then. I will send word to your shop then.
One last question.
Yes.
When we went to your brother's apartment, the door was open. Was that the way the apartment was left when your brother was taken away?
No, I'm fairly certain I locked the door.
That's what we thought as well.
Oh my. Okay. Well, thank you. That's unpleasant news to hear someone broke into my brother's apartment. But far from the worst news I've received the past fortnight. Is there anything else? I have some phone calls to make now to see.
No, ma'am. We'll be on our way.
Thank you. All right. Well,
Good evening, ma'am.
good luck, and I will look forward to speaking with you again. Thank you so much for what you've done so far.
Thank you.
And with that, she gets up and walks towards the door and opens the door for you on your way out. So now it's firmly nighttime. It's about 7 o'clock, 7:30.
We haven't looked through the pictures yet, right?
You have not, no.
Yeah. Okay. perhaps we should go on and find that dinner we were talking about and take a look through what we found so far.
Something to go. You're welcome to bring it back to my office if you like. No need to wait till 9 p.m. to get any dinner.
And
Certainly.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So you guys managed to find some takeout. It's not a very common thing here, but sure, they'll throw their very finely prepared dishes into a bag for you. Whatever. They don't care.
That's go to the diner and do that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's like,
Put
whatever.
it in
fine.
a brown bag.
Scrape the plate in. All right. Have a good day. And you guys head back to the doctor's place.
Yeah, let's take a look at those photos. Yeah.
All right. So we all are huddling around his desk, and you spread the photos out amongst yourselves, and you're eating your not Chinese food, and you're just having a grand old time looking at it. About 80% of the photos are crates 1 through 4. They're all of the things you would expect, or crates 1 through 3. All the things you would have expected to find in an archaeological dig in Peru. Caroline knows. It's like, oh yeah, this is all clearly like Inca stuff. I've seen some of this in books. Great. The last 20% though are not that. Some of them are photos of all of the tablets where they were found on this altar. But most of them are pictures of poorly lit, because this is in the secondary catacomb, effectively the secondary temple we were talking about in the first episode, of poorly lit mosaics and the maddening floor and the city that you could see. And Gareth notices that when you actually get to the appropriate photos of the city, that's what you were dreaming of. It is the city that you were sitting there and seeing, and that is you know that by name as Carcosa. You know that you've been there. Then everything else is just all of the madness of the mosaics and some sort of grisly looking ceremonial kind of daggers up on the altar. And it's that very few photos of the actual tablets, just where they were on the altar itself, sort of in slots on the way down, almost like cubby holes or magazine holders.
So when I see that picture of the city, I kind of I mentioned I was kind of like standing around the table, and I'll grab a chair and I just kind of slump down in it. And I just kind of hold it and I put it out on the desk. I don't know how to say this, but I dreamt that city last night. I've never seen this before, but I saw that when I was sleeping last night, when I had my spell or whatever. What is going on, y'all?
Caroline's just staring at him.
Put whatever photos I was looking at down. Like, sit next to him. Thomas, you saw this city in your dream last night?
And you knew the name.
I saw the city and I knew the name, and there was a thing. This I don't know how to describe it. He was, I think it was huge, and it looked right at me, and then I woke up by the river. But how is that possible? I've never seen this before. I thought it was just a weird dream because I was stressed out.
What was the name of the city?
It was this Carcosa.
We had heard about the day before, at least, or something, right?
Several
There's something
times.
in his notes and
Yeah.
scribbled and stuff.
And it was also the thing he was repeating about Carcosa.
Right.
But hearing the name and seeing the city are two different things. I've seen this.
You're
And I just keep pointing at that picture, yeah.
exactly. This is what you saw in your dream.
Exactly. I was flying through that city.
So taking a further look at, as you're sitting there gesturing at the city, at the peak of the tallest tower, there is that balcony that you saw. On that is a smudge of yellow. This is black and white film. There's that slight smudge of yellow on the balcony itself.
And like, is it a smudge? Like, I'll try to wipe it off. Is it a smudge?
It's there. You would recognize the color photo. To him, it looks like there's just a yellow streak, a smudge on there, almost like it was a yellow tile that almost not quite taken a good photo of in the picture. But where the king in yellow should have been standing, there is a yellow bit of the picture.
Okay.
And it's yellow. It's legitimately there.
I'm just that's him. That's wow. And I keep pointing. I'm just like pointing at that yellow spot. So
Did the journalists mess up the processing of the photos? I mean, how the hell did this get on there?
Be possible. I take the photo and pick it up and look at it and like, yep. Okay. I hope you will all agree with me now when I ascertain that there is definitely some sort of paranormal influence.
Paranormal, please. I'm waiting for the biology work. Listen.
How would you explain it otherwise?
Well, the only ones of us who have ever touched any of these things are Caroline, you, and Thomas. Caroline had a seizure. You are mumbling. Thomas is having dreams.
I hardly think mumbling is a symptom, Doctor.
Hardly, sure. Of course. You've been quacked all your life.
Now. I would expect this from Miss Billings, but Dr. Watson, I thought we at least had some sort of rapport.
Doctor, I can appreciate what you're saying, but how does a parasite give me visions of a picture of a city I have never been to?
That's what we're trying to find out. This is common anomaly here. It's the only common denominator is the people who have touched these artifacts, who have seen them, are infected with this thing.
We should check on the assistant. He was displaying no so-called symptoms, but he must have been doing all of, the touching and the seeing.
That's
Close
true.
contact, 100% of the time. You would think, right?
It's kind of miraculous that there's nothing wrong with him.
So while you all are sitting there and talking around the table, a very loud and forceful banging hits you on the door. It's a knock, but it's not a polite, it's like, hey, I'm here for dinner. It's, just a bow, bow, bow.
Brass knuckles.
Who is it?
It's Harold.
Does that tell us anything?
Harold's the name of the guy that you shot the other night.
Oh, yes, so it is.
Sorry, I don't know it, Harold. It's late. You'll forgive me for not opening the door.
You don't want to open the door, we'll open it.
Can we find something to barricade the door with?
I grab my revolver and I head to the door. Is there a window in the door? Like, can you see out of it?
There is, yeah.
Don't stand in front of the door; they may shoot.
Okay, I want to go into the doorway and look out and see who's out there.
Okay. So as you're looking out the window, because it's not a peephole, it's just at about 6.5 feet high. There's the windows at the top of the door. You're looking down and you just see a fedora hat, the top of the fedora. And behind him are two guys holding shotguns.
Okay. Lana puts herself back to the wall
She
right
doesn't
next
know
to
about that.
Well, no, this is what she was going to do no matter what. Because remember, I did say, don't stand in front of the door. They may shoot through it. Like, you heard me say that before the shotguns were ever mentioned. But I'm going to go back to the door, back to the wall right next to the opening part of the door so I can, like, swing at whoever comes through it.
Caroline grabs a chair and runs to put it under the doorknob really fast to try and block the door a bit, and then she gets out of the way.
So I take a couple steps back from the door. So you say your name's Harold.
Harold Gill, I believe you know me.
Yeah, I put a bullet in your chest last night, Mr. Gill. So you want to tell me why the hell you're standing in front of this door right now?
Open the door and we'll talk.
I ain't opening no door.
All right,
And I've got the pistol aimed at the window as I continue to back away from the door. And I just turn my head and to the doctor, I'm like, you got a back door out of this place?
A back door. And I'm gonna start like scrambling and putting stuff back in the bag in the bag. Just
So I don't know if how this fits into what we've been dealing with, but the guy I killed last night is standing outside your front door, and there are two gentlemen with him with shotguns.
You think a parasite caused that too, Dr. Watson?
Well, you haven't seen it's him. You're the guy using his name, but you haven't seen his face because he has that top of the hat there.
Yeah.
But there's no other reasonable explanation because no one else knew his name.
No one that we know.
Okay, fair.
But, I mean, Lana's kind of in the weird shit is happening camp. There is no logical explanation.
We got two choices here. We can try to go out the back door, or we can talk to these folks and see if we can figure out some answers from them, because they are clearly connected to what is going on.
Most of these photos are not actually relevant to the case. What if we tell?
I'd like to not get my resident shot up. I would also not like to greet people with shotguns. Do you think I've had enough time to throw everything back in a bag yet?
Yeah, you pull up just a doctor's bag. You're just scraping things, and you're not being careful with it, right? You're just like, get in the bag. I don't care.
We can go, but your car's out front.
I like this
You've
plan.
sabotaged it. Cut the tires or something.
If y'all want to go, then y'all lead the way, and I'll just keep backing up. And
Somebody's trying the doorknob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's locked. Yeah. I'll lead them to the back door if y'all want to beat feet and get out of here.
So as you guys are heading towards the back door, you hear a shotgun blast go off, and the door swing open and slam into the wall next to it.
Son of a bitch, and I went jump and run.
Okay.
Yeah, booking it.
Run.
All right, so you guys make it out the back door and over Dr. Rose's fence. And I think that's probably a good enough place to stop for the evening.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. You guys couldn't have just opened the door and taken the sanity checks. No.
I do not trust those motherfuckers. No.
See, we were not already fully insane. So, we didn't open the door to the dead guy with the shotguns. No.
You're just not working hard enough to drive us crazy, Mac.
Yeah, I know. All right, so everybody, thank you so much for jumping in on this. I know I had a really fun time running this. I'm hoping people are mildly enjoying themselves as I drive them insane slowly. And more importantly, I'm hoping everybody out there in the chat and watching us on Twitch and eventually YouTube are enjoying the story unfolding now too. So my apologies to the players. We'd take a little bit longer to go today. So without any further ado, let's do one more round around the horn here to get everybody to tell us where we can find you when you're not sitting here and being driven mad by my weird machinations. Anna, let's start with you.
Hi, I normally play Turgeon Nighthawk on the Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction, which is our Thursday night show, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And thanks for tuning in, everyone. It was a pleasure.
All right. Next up, we got Michelle.
I'm Michelle. I normally play Doliris on our Wednesday night show, The Velkin Weave.
And Corey. where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Corey. I'm at Mr. Smithwick on Twitter. You can find me with Michelle on the Velkin Weave here at the Games Tavern Wednesday nights at 7 p.m.
Jesse, where can our fine viewers find you when they're not watching our fine programming?
Oh, hi. I am Jess, aka Freckle Sketches on the Twitters, Instagrams, and Facebooks. You can find me every other Sunday on So Matty Games. I'm the official cartographer of Duval and Dragons and also play as Kriya Rashi. Happy to see you there.
I love that you're titled the official cartographer. That's fantastic. And then finally, Dwight, where can we find you?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm Dwight. I am the Big Bearded Nerd. You can find me on Twitter at Big Bearded Nerd, here on Twitch, Big Bearded Nerd 21. I am the lesser half of the Mini Train Domain network of channels. You can find me. Actually, this week, we were supposed to do it last week. We're rescheduling it for this week, though. I am running a Call of Cthulhu homebrew, the Illicit Tower Horror. It's a modern Cthulhu, creepy, like Silent Hill Call of Cthulhu mashup. Be Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern over on Mini Train Domain, and then this coming Friday on Big Bearded Nerd 21 Twitch will be my very first live stream for Tabletop RPG. I'll be playing the Mecha Hack, which is D&D with mechs. Playing the Mechspendables. It's a group of mech-based mercenaries. So that will be Big Bearded Nerd 21 next Friday at 8:30 Eastern Time. As I said last week, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me. I look forward to wrapping this up next week. So
yeah, it's we ran a little longer, but I wanted to get you to the point of, hey, Gil's back, surprise. But it is what it is. And to you and Jess, thank you so much for joining us. You're not regulars on the Games Tavern, but we thoroughly enjoy having you all here. And I'm Mac. I play Adger and Firebeard on Whiskey Magic and Destruction on Thursdays. I also run the Games Tavern Happy Hour on Tuesdays. It's our news, interviews, reviews, something else. We just talk about weird nerd stuff, talk about things that are tangentially gaming related. So we have a whole bunch of really cool stuff coming up on that one. Check us all out there. All of that happens at 7 p.m. on here on the Games Tavern, or the Games Tavern at Twitch. Otherwise, it's late. I'm sure there are people here who are hungry. So thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We got to give another big shout out to Tabletop Audio. Thank you so much for all of your for their help for allowing us to use their material. Tabletop Audio has been, I believe, all the music that you've been hearing, all the ambiance and stuff. I use that a lot for my home games. It's just too easy to drop it in, pick an ambience track, hit it on loop, and just let it go. It really sets the mood. It doesn't make it feel like we're playing in a small condo, and it makes us feel like we're playing in some place really cool. So everybody, please have a good night. Thank you for tuning in, and we will catch you all on the next time. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Night.